Yes, I'm live. Hi, everybody. You can't see me tonight. As you can see, my display is a little bit different. Yes, I'm live. And there we go. Now is repeating me. I don't need to hear myself talk, but thanks for playing. So, Rick will be along momentarily, I assume. I am going to kind of get started with some basics here, kind of go over some stuff, show you guys kind of what I'm working with. As you can see, I am not in my normal spot. I am in my, for lack of a better word. There he is.
You totally started that.
Oh,
How's it going? I'm not set up.
why is it no volume? Hang on.
No. Sorry, it's the mic. As I was starting to text you, I was like, oh man, setup for this is a beast because of space.
I'm on a delay, so.
And here I thought you might wait because
Yeah,
there was the whole.
Now you see what I did. I mean, you should see it. It's ridiculous. Hang on.
Yeah, there was the ish option, right? You didn't exercise the ish option.
Yeah, my dining room table is half taken over with my crafting stuff, so yeah, that's problematic.
Can you hear me?
Hear me? Did I go dead? No.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. My bad. Oh, I thought I thought we were going to exercise the 6:30-ish option.
Yeah, I was trying to get all this stuff organized for tonight because I mean, as you can see, there's no small amount of stuff.
Ooh, you got a ton. Look at that.
That I got out so we could talk about different stuff, and talk about how to do these and talk about my foam planet. And my moss.
Oh, love it.
And my clear figure stands and my, various little plastic plants that I have. I kind of have just about a little bit of everything that I do, that I'm going to do, that I'm thinking of adding to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this is a lot of stuff to go through. But it's kind of steps that I figured we could talk about and go through. And then, of course, I have my AstroTurf.
Nice.
And they roll. So
yeah, I think.
And of course, behind me, I have my foam boards with two different options. Obviously, there's one for the ocean, and then there's one for the forest backgrounds. So, how you doing?
I'm okay, man. The school year is starting back up, so I'm,
I'm sure you're dreading
that thing. Yeah, and dread maybe not quite. That's a little strong, but yeah, I mean, it's more so just lamenting the lost time, and there's so much I wanted to get done that almost never do that. So anyway, I'm thinking I need to I think your solution and the way you've got it set up is probably the better one. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this camera off, do a quick switcheroo.
You're fine. I can sort of go through the chat. I can't actually see it on my laptop because it's on the other.
That's what I mean. It's all weird, right? Everything is so weird.
It's disorienting. It is. But I knew I'd have to do this eventually because if I put dioramas in the actual intro, at some point I'm gonna have to do a diorama. So
Yep.
Otherwise, false advertising, and that's not who I am.
All right, I'll BRB with the camera.
All righty, man.
I'm still here though, for now.
So let's see if I can figure out who's all in the chat. And there's Eldor checking in. He's going to be with me next week. He has some issues today. He might have joined us. Mr. Nolan is here. Hello, Nolan. Carol. And Jim. How are you, sir? John. Yes, ish is a healthy scheduling option most of the time. Not always. Sometimes it can get me in trouble because that ish could be 30-ish, 40-ish, 50-ish. There's the other John. How
Or
you
you could
doing,
be like
sir?
me and Kayla and start it and then not realize that you didn't hit live. And
Well, somebody hit the button, so I don't know how that works. There's
oh, that was basically me. I screwed up. That's what it was.
So I think what I'm going to start off with is I'm going to go with my insulation foam, my canned insulation foam.
Oh, that's so cool.
Uh,
Gonna jump off real quick and jump back on. Something's
Oh,
weird.
good.
All right.
I will try to keep them entertained.
Oh, actually,
So
yeah.
here's how I make. Hang on. Rocks. You ever want to know how to make rocks? This is the same stuff. This is the canned insulation foam. I spray it out. Not necessarily this big usually. Usually it's about a fourth of this, so usually it's about this size. And what I'll do is I'll carve it down. As I carve it down, I try to shape it into a rock. Now this one is all gooey and messy, mainly because the can actually got a hole in it. When I was spraying it, it fell and dinged a hole in it, and then it started going everywhere. So hence an entire can right there. So this block I have actually carved. So I'm going to kind of do some prep work with it because I'm making kind of a rock cover slash spot because I'm working with Mod Podge paints. There. I knew that was going to happen. That was the only time. So, all right, hang on, Brick. I got you coming. Give me a second. There we go.
Woohoo! Okay, getting a little bit of behind the scenes.
There was somebody else that joined. Where you at, DJ? There he is. DJ5 has joined us. So, yeah, now I guess I forgot. I probably didn't, but I know somebody who did. Forget to wash that brush out the last time they used it. I'm gonna grab some water. 2 seconds. I didn't want any water with the electronics in yours. Now I gotta get some.
Yeah, I realizing like, oh, I don't have this.
Now the electronics are on the other side of the room, except my phone. You know, it melts down. It melts down. You know, whatever.
Hey, so you're prepping. Sorry, I wasn't here for the beginning. What have you done already? You sort of talked a little bit about
This
what
is
you're
one of the
doing,
rocks that's going to be an outcropping that's going to be basically covered for the dio piece.
Okay.
Now I've got my dio base underneath all this stuff over here, but I did want to show.
That's what I was going to ask you.
My Cosmic Legion.
Can you flip them upside down?
I got this week.
Can you flip them the other way?
Now I just have to get a sentry.
Can you flip them the other way? You're because it's upside down for the viewers.
All right.
Beautiful.
It's right side up for me. What can I say?
Oh my god.
Now it's upside down for me.
And you know what? So you know this that I wasn't able to jump in on that pre-order. So I'm ordering from a different retailer, and those should be coming, I'm assuming soon. But I actually, just because of money stuff, I wasn't even able to get. I was only able to be. So had to be selective. Sorry, I can't talk right now. But I don't have any of those Tusk folks.
Yeah, I got
0. Bummer.
I got him, but I'm kind of disappointed with the hips. They're not stable enough. He falls over a bunch, even if I pose him in a way that he shouldn't fall over.
So you're saying he actually will bend at the hips?
Yeah, it's
because he's just
his
heavy
hip
with the
joints
extra
are a
arms
little
and stuff.
bit rocky at best.
Mm-hmm.
They're really loose. I showed this in the video the other day. I get a little
Gotcha.
questionable on them hips. And yeah, I got to get some Teflon tape and put it in the joint, but that'll be a temporary solution. You know, I don't know what it is, but I know the other ogre scale ones don't have an issue as far as I know.
I mean, I'm assuming it's just the extra arm weight, right?
Do what?
I'm assuming it's because of the extra arm weight.
Maybe it's the extra arms, but the torso is really, really heavy too. So
Have folks on the
even
cabal
without the arms.
have folks on the cabal been kind of mentioning that this is an issue?
So it's not just me that was having the issue.
No, that's my question. If you know, if you happen to know, I don't know if you've heard anybody else. Sorry, can you hear me?
Master Shake. I don't think I have ever seen you here before. If you like what you're seeing, by all means, subscribe. Subscribe to Brick. Got good content. This is gonna take too long. I don't know what it is. Somebody did my brush dirty. I don't know which one of my children did, but one of them did.
Oh, look, that's the back of my head. So I haven't even yeah, I'll get to my thing that I need to work on, but I did want to show you some of my pickups. I think
Yeah, what'd you get this week?
So you already saw, I don't know, I'm trying to remember. I have not done an unboxing video of the panda that I got.
Oh, your Memory Toys Panda?
Have I showed you that yet?
I know you were getting one. I don't think I've seen it yet.
Yeah, I don't think I've shown it.
Awesome.
I might have shown it on a Mega J stream.
You might have. But you know, the Murder Panda is fantastic looking.
So here he is.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he's great.
I sense a butt coming.
There's no butt. Well, I mean, there's a butt. There's a furry butt. I don't even remember where the camera is. Oh, there it is. There's a furry butt. But no, it's just that. So I ordered him a while back from 5K Toys. They were at that time the panda was like a what do you call it? Like a chase figure, I get, or like and so then this other vendor later, I think it was in February, said, no, you can just order that as an option directly. So I did. And so I figured, oh, you know, well, I'll sit on it, see how I like it, and decide if I'm going to cancel the other one or not, essentially is how I went. Right. Yeah. Which is like clearly like a ridiculous first world problem. So, short answer, or hey, it's not really short, but yeah, he's good. And so I didn't cancel it. And so got my brown one, presumably in. So I essentially have two bears. I haven't even opened this one up yet. Yeah, it says
you got the regular brown one or the two?
The regular brown one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I don't even remember if this says broken claw. I don't remember if the other one says something different. So I haven't opened this up yet to confirm. Because if this original vendor, I'm just saying, like, how random would it be if I actually, quote unquote, won the panda from the other one? Anyway, so I got this guy, which is
that'd definitely be some good luck. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, a brown version
of
that guy. And you know, they added in like armor and all sorts of stuff that wasn't planned originally. So I was like, oh, you know, I can totally do two completely different figures essentially. And I'm happy with him. I'm very happy with him. You know, I've heard some people saying some stuff about it, but like not really seeing it, except for maybe like some of these gaps. Again, I'm set up differently, so I'm forgetting what you all can see. But he's a cool looking creature, especially this panda deco on his face.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm really, really happy with the way that looks.
That would have been the one that I would have wanted if I was going to get one, because you know the other ones are okay, but something about that panda one just hits right.
So I got that. Like many people who have had to had some issues with their Spiro orders. AWOC orders, that is. Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, if you're unfamiliar.
What, wave 1 or wave 2?
AWOC if you're nasty. Wave 2 Feral Beasties. So I got my wave 2 order, but it was missing my not Beastman guys.
Oh, okay.
And so I walked in the house today after talking with support at spirotoys.com. No, actually just talking with Adam informally.
You talking with Adam?
Yeah, just like, how things are going, and just hearing about, it's a lot of work and what's going on over there. And so, out of respect, like, I know it's a lot of work. He's trying to support. So I tried not to like follow up too much about it. I mentioned this one once, emailed him, and they're here. I think. I mean, it's from Spiro.
You hope, right?
Yeah.
You haven't opened it yet, so you won't be able to confirm until it's open, right?
I'm going to find out right now. So, God, again, I forget what you all can see on the screen. This is weird, man. This is a fun trial, though.
Is this the opening the box mystery thing? You see what's in it, surprise you?
Yeah. Okay. So
as long as the arms don't fall off or the legs don't fall off, you're probably good.
Yeah, good. Imagine that after like trying to address it.
See, there's your orange.
There's one of them. There's two of them. So, so that Beastman can have a posse, along with a Tanger coming in soon. Awesome.
Yeah. No, it's
sweet.
My wave 2s, I really, really like them. It was pain to try to get Onyx for a while, but John got him in, so I ordered from him.
I got one more for you, friend. This just came today. Oh no, was this today? Yes, the Berserker came last week. Haven't opened it yet. This just came today. I'm hearing movement in the box that I'm not too happy about. Ooh. But this one I don't know why I completely sort of did forget. Can you see it?
Master Wang.
Master Wang, yeah.
Master Wang.
So I am officially like the target audience for this current wave of anthropomorphized animal characters, man.
So you should just start signing over any checks from the summer to Pure Toys.
Yeah, man. Not only am I the target, I am like, yes, I'm a successful target, I guess. To this thing. So
you are the victim of your own desires there.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
Maestro Union. Man, these guys are great. Sebadom's like, his sculpts are fantastic. So yeah, man, I've got like a bunch of animals, and so those animals need a home, right? Or a place to hang out, and that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah. So is that going to be the backdrop for it, or is that going to be the side, or is that going to be what? What is your
great question
plan for that?
Yeah. So
part that you worked on so far.
It is been doing the unboxings on the channel, and just because of time and where I was at, I was just essentially using like fabric piece to try and get like a seamless looking thing. And this is going to be the replacement for my unboxing. This will be sort of the backdrop.
Okay.
Just I wanted to start with something simple, scale. So I would have started with something smaller, but just because of the needs of the channel, right? I just figured, what, let's just go with it. Plus, if anybody here, I don't know how familiar folks are with this stuff, and I figure, this video will live for a while. And if you're just getting into this stuff, this is how I bought the panel. It's 24 by 24.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see like, and it's insulation.
Now, if you're using just for the base, you can get this. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's double-sided too. But you do
Mhm.
not, it cuts funny and it's really messy when you cut
When
it.
when you say double-sided, meaning the paper.
Meaning
Yeah.
you have a
Mhm.
nice foil side that you can
Yep. Yep.
use for non-sticky area things. So like if you want a reflective surface,
Mhm. Mhm.
so like a water scene.
Sure.
So if you put some cellophane on top of this that you wrinkled up a little bit, and you can
Mhm.
kind of give it a little bit of texture and give it a little bit of light reflection.
Yep. Yep.
And the
Yep.
other side you can just paint. But with any of these, do not paint them with spray paint unless you've treated the entire all four sides as with something as a sealant. The spray paint will eat through it.
I mean, I would even just say don't, because even if you think you've covered every tiny bit of it, it's just going to take,
It's one of those things that they don't give you that information. You have to find that information out, usually either vicariously through someone else
when stuff starts melting.
or when it starts melting.
Yeah.
And it's really any solvents like
Yep.
acetone does it. I don't know what was doing it on. I have a piece out in the garage that I use for. It's where all of my stuff goes to dry. So I had little sticks in it. It's not the one that's all beat up. It's the newer one. And for whatever reason, it's got this weird thumb-sized hole in it. And I'm like, I don't know what hit you, but something did. And it's like
Huh.
melted on all the sides. I'm like, oh, that's not good. That's not the color it's supposed to be.
So yeah, foam, they call it foamular. Um, so people have asked on my, I've done a couple posts on IG, and then I think that dupes on Facebook. They see me like in the full on respirator. You even made it real
Yes.
clear, like, hey, definitely do this. Um, so as I told you, that was my intention anyways. But this stuff is like, there's chemicals involved in this, and there's fiberglass up in this, right? I believe.
It's toxic. It's highly
Yeah.
toxic.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
guys out there who don't wear masks that do dioramas for a living.
Yep.
More power to them if they want to inhale this stuff. But I
Yeah.
spend all week inhaling chemicals from whatever I'm painting or
Yep. Yep.
varnishes, other stuff. I'm not adding to that possibility, so I use a respirator for all that. So
Yeah.
anytime that I work with anything that's stuff I know that's likely to kill me, whether it be slowly or quickly, it's kind of an irrelevant point. I'm going to make sure that I'm being, at least safe. I mean,
Yeah.
while I'm painting, I have
100.
gloves on my hand.
100. And so yeah, same
And
here. I
this
mean,
is a
I got folks in my family with, with COPD. Some of them, others have lung cancer. Some have both. So
this is a
I am
cheap
messing around.
$10, $15 mask on Amazon, and it's
Yep.
got
Yep. Yep.
replaceable filters that you just change out, and
Yep.
they're worth it, especially if you do a lot of wood cutting or do a lot of spray painting, do a lot of uh, just anything where you're doing a lot of interactions with chemicals that are likely to be inhaled.
Yep. Yeah, it's the fumes too, especially if you're using a hot wire cutter. It's
Oh
going
yeah,
to release
it's
some of
nasty.
that, and then the
Well,
little
anytime
particles.
you're gonna sand that stuff, oh yeah. Mm-mm.
So again, just to give you a sense, I did trim away a little, so barely any, and that wasn't intentional. I started making a cut. I screwed it up so this angle kept coming in and coming in, because that
Ah, that's all
literally
right
was
though.
my
It works.
first time ever using the wire cutter, and so not getting that even pace through the
Mine is a
machine.
hand cutter, so
Well,
yeah,
either way, right? If you slow
and
down, if you stop,
yeah,
it'll. Mhm.
it'll start eating more than what you want it to.
Exactly. So that happened to me, and I kind of came in a little bit. But that's the idea. So what is it going to be? It's going to be a backdrop, and um, so I don't know. I was just kind of like working on like Just looking at stuff.
You want to have something visually interesting when you're doing.
Yeah, but as far as like the inspiration and the thinking behind it, I was looking at like Cusco or up in wait, is that right? In Peru, those like gigantic
Yeah,
walls. Yeah.
yeah,
And then I was just sort of like messing with geometry and kind of wanted it like, my shelf is like this weird fantasy science fiction, right? Like this, basically it's Masters of the Universe, John Carter from Mars, like, anything from like ray guns to swords and sandals combined. So kind of wanted to do a mountain, but maybe a mountain that wouldn't necessarily be here on Earth, hence the weird things. But I did want to imply some architecture, right? These are blocks. And then
yeah.
these, I wanted to hint at like, again, something a little bit more made by humans, or sorry, made by beings. So I think I'm going to go silver on these. So as far as painting, because we're doing this today, man, and I was looking at this, initially I was going to do like a brown or something, but I think I'm just going to use this as my base coat or my base color and
Okay.
just work off the purple, maybe do some like light blues or something a little bit funky. So yeah, that's the plan. And people were wondering, asking me online, like, what's the deal with the cut in the middle? There was a second piece that I haven't done, which is a top to this guy, the turntable that I use.
Okay.
And
So
so
you're
that'll
gonna
give
put.
me a little height, like a rocky kind of a floor type thing.
Yeah.
And so I needed to have it inset a little so that I could get, based on the average figure, they can go a little bit further back because I am working on a limited space here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want this thing protruding in. I don't know. That was the idea
Okay.
anyway. So that's
I'm
what it is.
having to add to mine because it's the base on it. I originally cut to fit into the shelves that I used to have,
Mm-hmm.
and then I bought shelves that are 4 inches deeper. I'm not giving it all the way out, but
That's a
so
better problem than the other way.
it's a little harder to add back. Take from.
Oh yeah. I guess. Well, yeah, oh, yeah. I guess it would.
I have to be a little creative. I got my magnets out, and I'm gonna try to do that on this and see if I can get them to stick well enough in there with the hot glue that I can work with them.
Sure.
But at the moment I'm just trying to get some basic tone on this rock. The hardest part is with the foam, especially because of the way that it sprays out, is sometimes you end up with like these big gaping holes.
Mm-hmm.
So like there, you can see that hole, but it's pretty gaping, and then there's one like right there in the back. And you have to be a little more creative about how you get the stuff in the thing. But the good thing about the spray foam is it's really easily cut. You can shape it pretty easily. This is why Skelly uses it for his Snake Mountain diorama that he did.
The other thing's gorgeous. You mean one of two?
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
not that. I'm not at Skelly's level of sculpting.
That's amazing. All right.
Maybe
So
when I've spent 20 years doing it or something.
a couple. I don't know. Did you say you can't go through the chat? Is it
I
hard?
can sort of, but it's a little hard when I got paint all over my hands.
And I can't highlight any of these, huh? Don't work for me. No. No.
What are you seeing?
Or just Star I wanted to echo the safety first kind of thing. 'Cause,
that's terrible.
yeah,
Yeah,
sorry to hear
no,
that, Star, but yeah, I think it's good to I gotta
that
prep,
sucks. Yeah, I'm all about trying to at least make a few extra years in my life. Then
Doing it for the kids.
I quit dipping in 2020 after almost 20 years of doing it. I don't miss it. I don't miss what it did in my wallet. Now my wallet now has toys, which might actually cost me more than what I spent.
But you might live longer and happier.
I am definitely happier, and I don't miss the spit bottles running around the house at all. Neither does my wife. She's like, I'm so happy. I don't have spit bottles. all the time.
You didn't opt for like an old-fashioned spittoon?
Oh, negative. Nah. Those big old plastic bottles spitting into them. It's all fun and games until you spit into your actual drink, and then it's not
Oh,
fun.
Lord. Come on, this bear's not going to survive long. Let's see. Oh, maybe he will. Proof of concept. Yeah, my bigger figs are going to definitely knock it back.
So, are you gonna want to dry brush that, or are you just gonna go with
I don't know, because I'm going to have to try and match the color. I'm going to see what I can do.
match the color to what?
Well, I got to find paint close to this because I do have some Sharpie left over, if you can see. So I'm going to have to cover up some things.
Oh, is that what you put in the
No, I painted that, but I just
okay.
noticed this clear piece that's right on top. But of course, there's also that kind of needs to be touched up. Whatever. But here's the deal: like, it's organic. That was the other piece of like kind of doing like a more organic part of it because it's more forgiving.
Yeah.
Some people were asking about like, man, those things are great. Can't believe you sculpt. I was like, you don't. I mean, you're burning stuff, and just the nature of the material and what you're trying to do, and this being kind of more organic piece, it just comes out. It really does just come out that way. Like, yeah, it depends on how you're laying into it with the thing, but it's a lot easier. This is my first one, folks, and this is like, it is a lot easier than one would assume. And I got a shout out to Daz, Daz Atron's Diorama Llama, because like I was watching his stuff but a little bit over a year and plus ago, and he's really oriented to like supporting beginners and encouraging folks to try. So, I bought my foam cutter like a year ago, watching his stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and then just not really having the space and all that, and finally got to it. And it truly is as easy as Daz describes it.
I think a lot of this stuff. I mean, for me, it like doing like the customs and the stuff like that when I started. I mean, it seemed really intimidating. I mean, I'd done pop and swaps, but not full on painting or doing something that was a little more developed. And I think once you start doing it, you just get practice. It's not about having it perfect the first time, because that's never going to happen. I don't know anybody who does that. It's just about trying new things and seeing what you can do with it. So right now, what I'm doing is I am making cardboard. I'm going to be making some. Basically, they're going to be cardboard roots systems for a tree that I made, but we're going to be chopping that up a little bit and see what else. So that is what I'm doing next. Ed, wear a mask. Do we freestyle, or do we look at reference pictures from nature for inspiration for dial? Mine is all freestyle. Right now, it's about as freestyle as it's going to get. I'm going to go with what I feel. I could do, I've got enough random looking nature stuff that, I have my handy dandy grassy turf. But right now, I am just kind of freestyling because I want to try to make some stuff and see if it looks good, and then work from there. If it looks good, I'll keep doing it. If it doesn't, scratch it. It's it's 5 to 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes out of my life. I'm good. I also have all of this stuff that I bought for my dio. This is actually part of the dio for my Zartan and Python Patrol classifieds, but changing that up. So yeah, freestyle is pretty much mine. I don't know about bricks. You'll have to answer that one.
I mean, I looked at stuff for reference just to kind of get situated, and I kind of mentioned already that like I was looking at some images of walls and stuff, and I think part of it was just trying to like, oh, what's the logic of a wall, and what does that actually look like in between? And obviously, like I didn't go for the more geometric, but I definitely was looking at stuff to get some sense of it, and yeah, I mean, it would just depend on what I'm doing. If I'm really trying to like chase a thing, then I definitely would go look at a lot of reference. I think for this, it's my first time, so it
Well,
is
I
not
think if
my
it was,
first time doing stuff. Like
yeah,
I have painted before
you do
and created art. Yeah.
yeah, you did a bunch of graphic
In
design
fact, this
stuff
is all
too.
my leftover. Like people are like this is so these are not the cheapest paints to use for this stuff. I would use the stuff in the craft store, which I have.
Yeah,
But they're pretty color specific and we're a different direction. But yeah, this is like a $4.92 tube, but I think this is probably from 1990. Jesus,
this
I
one
don't
was
know.
not. This little tube is $10, almost 11.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, and then this is not that expensive.
But
But
this is the stuff that I use to restore paintings at work, so I know what kind of paint I'm getting. I know what kind of coverage I'm getting. I know all of that other stuff that is useful to know.
is that focusing enough to read? I can't tell from my distance, but it's 1992, copyright 1992.
Woo!
But it's still good. I've used
Yeah,
a,
it's
a
fine.
good amount of it.
Paint is one of those things that really, I mean, yeah, the only time it's going to go bad is if you leave it open.
I'll be right back. Gonna go grab some
All
stuff.
right. I will. What inspires my video? Ooh, that is a good question, Star. Um, for me, it's all about what I have in my head for that toy line. I'm going to I have some shelves, and I'm getting a second set that I bought. They're 16 inches deep and they're 32 inches wide. So I have a lot of space, and I'm going to be doing battles in there. So for one shelf, it's going to be probably at the moment, it's going to be half snow and then half ocean, or I may just have to make it a full ocean because I'm going to have boats on it. So there'll be little acrylic risers in it that hold the boats up, and then stuff underneath it for the divers that are underneath it. Considering that my eels apparently are going to be shipping to me Tuesday, I was like, okay, I'll take Tuesday. I was expecting them next month. See,
That's
and then I
awesome.
forgot where I needed to put this.
Yeah, I was gonna ask which figures, but or what toy line, but that
Yeah,
answered that.
what's weird is for me,
Mm-hmm.
classified is the one that I do all of the stuff for,
What's that?
but I don't know. It's ones that I'm building all the dials to start with, and then from there I'll build out with masters and AWOC.
Huh.
Um, maybe it's just because there's something simpler about it, but again, it's also my favorite line that I have. And
Well, that's funny you say it's simpler because in my mind, it's also of our world.
yeah,
So there's a quote unquote right or wrong answer.
yeah.
So that's why like for me, it's like, oh yeah, no, it's your standard pink wall. you know?
So I need one quarter.
Yeah, let's be realistic. I'm gonna use a lot.
Yeah, this is the fun part is doing all the measurements and trying to figure out where you're going to put everything so that it'll be even. Start, finish is.
There's a question from Star. What
Uh,
inspires your vision of
oh,
what
I
you want
answered
to make?
that. You can answer
Oh,
it for
did
you.
you? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I don't know. Again, for me, it's I do have a vision for my shelf, right? Like uh, and what I collect. Like I'm a little bit weird, I guess, compared to a lot of the folks I know who like stick to a line and are either complete or really kind of chasing a line and want to build out that world. And then they have another shelf for like their other toys that they love. I kind of am collecting a bunch of stuff, but it's sort of fitting into this overall theme or genre, right? So mentioned it earlier. Give me a little bit of Flash Gordon, give me a little bit of Conan, put the two together and everything in between. And so um I do like because I'm thinking a particular way. I do in my head already have like a vision of the kind of environments that these characters can like live in. So, and then it's fueled by 46 now going on 47, folks. August 14th, which is also the year anniversary of my channel. I shouldn't use a brush for this, but I'm being lazy. But anyway, yeah. So I do have. It's informed by a bunch of book novels, paintings, like you mentioned, Frazetta Star, Vallejo. Yeah, man. It's all that stuff that informed it. It's the backgrounds of Key-Man cartoon. It's all sorts of stuff, right? Concept art and Jack Kirby. So yeah, like I'm drawing on all those memories as well as like in this case, it's something fantastic and accidental. Like I said, I was going to do this originally sort of rocky, maybe like a brownish. I actually do. I'm not just being lazy and for the sake of the stream. A part of it's that, but I kind of like the pink look of this thing, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like I could let me work with that, and so yeah.
And the star brings up the point about incorporating some photos and some techniques. I have photographs that I have put into my displays at some point. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's easier at times and more difficult, especially if you have um, lights that are not quite, for lack of a better word, adjustable enough. It can create some really weird backdrop. But I would love to get like a real life looking terror drone background. That would be awesome for my Cobra display.
Ooh, nice. This is not how you mix paint. This is me being lazy and haphazard, and I can imagine some art teachers from college yelling at me. But
What?
no, I'm just this is like the worst way to mix paint, and I'm just being lazy because I was looking for something to mix with. I'm just throwing in colors, but whatever. This brings us to
Sometimes,
the toy therapy portion of our
you know what? Bob Ross would call that happy accident. So you
yes,
have a happy
yes,
accident, and that's
yes.
fine.
Yeah, and that's part of the fun for me.
All right.
And here's the deal too. It's like with paint, at least the way I look at it. If I mess up, I paint over it.
Yeah, that's people forget that paint's adjustable.
Yeah, man. There's
Even
no
after you varnish it, it's still adjustable.
Command Z on this bad boy, but there is a
That's all right.
step and repeat.
There is some, but now you can't take away from a carving, or you can't add to a carving most of the time. Then it becomes weird, especially if it dries at different things. So yeah, I do have. If you have something small, get this out. This is steel stick. They like you have a little hole that you want to fill. If you want it to be permanently filled and not come out, this stuff's great.
Would you mind
Understand it's
holding
an
it a
epoxy.
little closer to the cam so you can
It's
see a
an
little?
epoxy. It's called steel stick. If you have something that has a hole,
Okay.
it's sandable. It's just
Mhm.
I use it if it's something like, let's see, I'd make a hole. See, I'm also like I got those Fortnite boats.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm really contemplating using
Wait, boats, plural.
um do what?
Boats was plural. Did I hear that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Those is plural. I have 3.
Love it.
I bought one from Amazon, and then like 2 weeks later I found them at Ollie's, and I was just like, so I bought 2 more. Because I'm planning to do an ocean thing, and I
How
need
big
to
are
have
those
that
things?
I need to have that space. So, but what I'm gonna do is what I'm thinking about doing is using this construction foam and um, using it and making a place to fit into the like make everything duplicates. Like there's a gun that there's a missile emplacement on one side, but there's not a duplicate on the other side. But
Mhm.
I can cut the foam to make it look like that, and it's sandable, it's adjustable. I'd rather do that than polystyrene.
Mhm.
That would be my other option, and I don't know how comfortable I am with polystyrene cutting. So I'm going to do that, and because I did print out um, like the water moccasins cockpit.
Oh, you have a, printer now.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
printed it out, and I matched it up pretty well as far as you know the scale wise.
Mhm.
But I don't know that I feel confident enough in my 3D printing prowess to keep that going. I think I'm probably just going to foam it and then cover it with Bondo and sand it back down.
How's the
But
3D sorry, and we're jumping around, but I'm
you're
curious.
fine. That's the point of this. We're just talking while we do.
Yeah, but, for the
We
audience.
don't have to. This isn't structured tonight. This is more like freestyle. This is freestyle brick, freestyle Aaron. We're good.
So, let me ask you how you, started with the whole I know normally you're asking the questions, but I am curious because 'cause you've been doing this you've been making figures, all sorts of stuff. When did that start? Like, not necessarily figures, but, like, were you doing art stuff before? Was it, like how'd you get into this whole thing?
Well, I mean, really, yeah. I mean, this has all kind of come all together. This was allowing me to do something creative. I've always been a moderately creative person.
Mhm.
Um, when I was doing expressive therapy at the hospital, I would always have expressive activity. So we would be doing um, drawings, we'd be doing paintings, we'd be doing music. Oh, right. So I've always kind of had stuff where I've done creative stuff.
Mhm.
So for me, this is just a natural extension of that creativity.
But was it something you did as a kid too? Or is
Somewhat.
it
I mean,
more so
I
as
did
an
a lot
adult?
of what we would call pit bashing as a kid.
Uh-huh.
Mostly it was 'cause something broke. You have to make do with what you got, and sometimes you have to try to fix it.
But you're saying it was always centered around your creativity was centered around toys? Or was
Yeah,
there
it was when I was a
Oh, s
kid,
oh,
for the
cool.
most part. I mean, yeah, I love to draw, and I'm not great at it.
Uh-huh.
I'm okay at painting, not great, but I can fix a painting. But if you ask me to start from scratch, and I'm pretty much lost at that point. But I can fix one, and I fix them very well. But skin tones and sky colors are a pain in the ass. But you know, that's because everybody has 25 million different versions of blue, and
Yeah.
the skin tones are ridiculous. I'm grateful that my figures, for the most part, I have about, I don't know, eight different skin tone paints for
Mhm.
my figures, so I can use pretty much any of them. I don't know what happened to my good. brown. My umber is missing somewhere.
My umber.
So there's my cross base for the bottom. So I'm going to put that. I got to cut this. Then we'll put those two together. This is a lightweight solution for trees. If you don't want to, pay the exorbitant amounts that you would pay for something like a terrarium piece. I mean, this paper mache roll started out like this. And I'm going to kind of go through and show you the basic steps on that one here in a second, but I just want to try to get this matched in there. But yeah, no, for me, creativity it's always been an outlet. And for a long time, from pretty much 2015 when I left the hospital, I really stopped being creative until the last couple of years. And really the last year.
Okay.
So, and I can definitely tell the difference when I'm not being creative in some manner or another, or if I'm being creative and it's something that I'm doing for, money, it doesn't tend to be that kind of creative stimulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's to be more doing it because I'm getting paid. It's not as creatively fulfilling. And I'm sure you can appreciate that creative fulfillment.
Oh yeah, totally. I've done so much creative stuff that had, no pay attached. I've worked for clients, like intentionally gone after clients in the graphic design world back in the day because we wanted to do the project, right?
Yeah.
And they say, well, we don't have much of a budget. We're like, it's cool. We'll charge
So
somebody else for it.
Teaching. I was curious about that.
Oh, the change to teaching. So I moved up here to the Bay and started doing Bay Area, California, and started doing work out here. But I was also sort of like working in different communities, organizing stuff while doing that. Those two things were kind of like my passion. And I guess I was also doing music at the same time. But at a certain point, there was four of us who opened up our own little studio, and that kind of created the opportunity for me to create my own schedule. And I started volunteering at a youth center in Oakland, West Oakland, Youth Empowerment Center. And I was teaching design stuff to make flyers, make T-shirts or whatever, right? For whatever these young folks were needing. And I was really into it. And at the same time was becoming less and less into not design, but less and less into the clientele. The .com bubble was, growing and growing, and the kind of work that we were doing was not my thing, and dealing with people that were not my people. And so just starting to find more and more joy and fulfillment in working with, young folks trying to make changes in their communities or whatever. And so I started doing that. And then at the same time, my now wife, spouse, was also working at a company that no longer exists, NBC, National Broadcasting Company, right? Everybody back in the day would either add .com or an I at the end of it, and that would make a whole new branch. So she worked for NBCI doing some inane thing that neither of us remember anymore. And so she was looking at ed programs. I was looking at ed programs, teaching programs. And that's kind of how it started. I shifted over. I was doing both for the longest time. And then just kind of said, we're good. We closed the company and we closed the company and then moved on.
So are you getting excited more about being able to go back to doing some creative stuff again?
Oh, yeah. No, it's always been
Seems
there.
like you've been really, really hyped for doing this once you got started.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, it's more, um, I like to do a lot of things, and I've done a lot of things in my life. So I think I definitely have this part of me that's like, okay, I don't know if you ever watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in the day. Bored
Yeah.
now.
Technically,
Willow.
it's on every night. So yeah, we for whatever reason,
Oh, it's on TV?
it's on a channel called Comet.
Oh,
For
okay.
whatever reason, it's like what I default to when I'm not watching like Netflix or Disney
Okay.
Plus
Okay.
or Prime or whatever. It's
So
what my
yeah,
TV is set to go to. So pretty much every night when I turn on the TV, the first thing that's on is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
all of that because I mentioned bored now. But yeah, I get to I don't know if do you remember that at all? Is that just a reference no one gets? When Willow is like bad Willow and she
Yeah.
tears the skin off that dude. Anyway, hey, look, finally, I'm gonna try and apply some paint. I just want to see how this works. Yeah, that's not at all close, but will it work? It's more on the pink side. See, like people are like, oh, it's not gonna match. Like, really? Oh, you probably just saw that. That's funny. I went through that whole. We just talked about how you should wear a mask, and I literally just licked my hand. Like, fine,
You
done.
licked your finger with the paint. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be all right. You're
world
not
of
gonna die.
it's a world of contradictions. Um. Anyway,
We all ate
so
paint as a kid. As long as it's not lead based, I think you're pretty safe.
yeah. It's a so yeah, I like to do a bunch of stuff and I like to try a bunch of stuff and I like to learn, I think is what it is. And then so after I kind of like hit a learning curve or something else catches my eye, I'm like, oh, I want to try that. So I think right now what you're seeing is not so much like, oh, I'm doing creative stuff again, because I would argue and submit that doing the channel, man, that's been super creative. Like hanging out with
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is
you.
because
Yeah.
the way that you do editing, I know is a little more intense than.
So intense that nothing ever comes out. Sorry.
But is that the perfectionist in you though? Is
Yeah.
that graphic designer coming out of you going, you can't put that in like that?
Well, that's what happens when you don't have a client, right?
Yeah.
It's due when I say it's due, and it's a problem.
So
It is, yeah. No, it's a little bit of perfectionist, a little bit of, and the perfectionist, honestly, like I kind of mentioned this on the post. It's also insecurity,
yeah,
Since we're in therapy,
you've
it's like, oh, it's not good enough. I can't put this out. And anyways, that's a whole other.
but you realize most people are just going to be happy that you put it out.
I hear that. I understand that. Do I realize that? I don't know.
No, we're our own worst critics. That's what we do. That's kind of that internal dialogue where we're just, yeah, you're a fake. That's that imposter syndrome screaming at you.
Yeah, that imposter syndrome reinforced by certain people in my life. But yeah. I don't know if you caught that when I posted the first one. I even like started typing to my inner critic.
Okay, so folks, I have now covered the cardboard and tape, masking tape. Painter's tape works. Whatever you want to put on it. And our next activity, and I'm probably going to have to get another set of gloves. So give me a second. I'll be right back. I got to go get some gloves.
Excellent. So yeah, this is just gonna be me on the stream mixing paint, guys. Hope you enjoy. Oh, fun. All right, what else? I'm gonna go through the chat too. I won't be able to pull them up, but happy to see folks. Hey, it's good to see you. Good to see everybody in here. Sorry that I'm not everybody that's here. A lot of talented folks in here too who do some amazing things. I was just pouring over Axion stuff. I love that cosmic piece you just posted with the lights and that little sort of like like the cockpit of a starship. So cool. Allison's in here, ridiculously talented. Allison knows the the true price of my editing style, because we recorded something hella long ago that I'm supposedly editing, and who else is up in her?
So you've been
So-
putting off putting it out.
What's that?
You've been putting off putting it out.
It's not even putting it out. I've actually been working on it, but it's like, oh, and it's a big one too. She knows. So it's trying to, again, I'm sure nobody cares, but here I am trying to think about, how does this work? Is this a solid like narrative? This, anyways, whatever. I'm dumb. And so like AWOC Talk, for example, this Sunday, going to be hanging out over on Highly Articulated, and we're supposed to have an episode out 2 weeks ago that is still not done. Anyway.
So are you in? You're doing that one, recording it, or you're doing it live?
We've recorded it. I've been editing. No, so sorry. 2 weeks ago should have dropped the next episode of the pre-recorded AWOC Talk episodes that did not drop. That's sort of like, still working on it. Here we are 2 weeks later, and we're already doing the next live.
So I am reusing the paper towels that I had used to clean up previously. I'm gonna try to see if I can get them to adhere well enough. Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's me. Not really, but sounds good. But I'm trying to reuse as much of this stuff as possible, because that's what I'm going to use to make the texture of the trees.
Still on the pink side. Can you hear a TV? Curious about
no, I do not.
Good.
You may hear my son's TV. It is highly possible, because he doesn't know volume control.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, because there's a.
It is possible. I barely hear it.
I don't.
But earlier when I was doing the tests, because the way this thing is set up, I'm having to use the onboard mic instead of my other mic. Sadly, the mic from my new computer is a lot better than the mic that I had. So I'm having some questions.
Star says, and again, I can't call them up, but I love this stuff. Just pure creativity, customizing figs while creating your own custom environments. How can any creative person not crave this?
It's relaxing, and it's fun, and there's some stress when you mess things up, but you know what? If I mess it up, I mess it up.
Yeah.
The world isn't going to end.
I'm too old for that kind of stress, man.
Yeah, I don't. No. It was funny the other day. I put out that thing on my story for Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Which thing?
The one that was F this shit, I'm out.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I started getting a bunch of messages. Dude, are we making you? No. This is more of, I just don't have time for drama and other things. I'm out. To me, this is my life motto. What are you talking about? It doesn't have anything to do with you.
It's not about you.
I love you guys. I'm good with you. We're fine. It does not apply to you. But if you wanted to, if you truly wanted to, by all means.
Pepto-Bismol, man. Yeah, I would argue, if you're a toy collector and you're putting stuff together on the shelf at a certain point, and you pose I'll go back. If you're a toy collector and you're selecting which characters you get, right, and then you take the time to pose them, you're a creative person, or you're concerned with aesthetics. You're making certain choices, which characters to go together, whether it's based on a logic, like, oh, this line goes together, or these characters were together that one time in the comic book, so I'm gonna put them together. That's a creative decision, right?
Yep.
And so at a certain point, you put all that stuff together, as Star's sort of pointing out, like it feels like part of that natural progression is sort of like, well, how am I going to display these awesome looking things on a shelf, right? Do I,
Mhm.
and then you're going to make choices, whether that's as simple as like, what's the furniture that I think fits best for this, or yeah,
Or
diorama
buy, I mean,
accessories.
realistically, yeah, you can
Mhm,
go out and you can pay $80
mhm.
for an extreme set if you really want to.
Is that how much they are?
Oh yeah,
Those are the cardboard
79.99.
ones, right? Yeah, they're good looking
Now
stuff.
the ones that you get for like the detolf size, they're like 60, 70, 69, 79, something like that. They're cheap. They're
Okay.
69.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
They're $10 cheaper because of what they are, but they only cover the backside. So for me, it's more of simple economics. If I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Are these shelves
15.
you're counting?
So yeah, I'm counting 16. At the moment, I have 16 shelves.
Okay.
Take that 16 times $80. That's not a small amount.
Yeah. That's a lot of $80.
That's a lot of $80. Or I can use cardboard and this insulation foam, this $25, and I can do 2 or 3 shelves with it. And I can make it out of stuff that I have laying around, or I got stuff to make the 3D printer. I can make stuff on it as well. I mean, I do have one extreme set, but I got it when it was on clearance at Entertainment Earth for $30, but it was
Noise.
for detolf.
Mm.
So for me, I kind of regret getting it at that point, but it works in my new shelves, but didn't work in my old shelves.
Yeah, I mean, you can cost things out like that. I just, been hanging out with Canadians. To be fair, um, if you also think about how much time though, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, there's labor involved, right? This is not, so I just want to throw that out there. But then there's that added bonus of everything we've been talking about the creativity and the customization. Like, I
Yeah.
love that part, right? And be able to look at that shelf and feel that little bit of you that goes like, "Oh, cool, I did that." I made a thing, right?
Well, and I think
My
it just gives
my
it a more
labor is not
personal
alienated.
touch.
Yep, totally.
I mean, for me, it's more about this it shows me what I'm capable of when I try.
Yes.
That's one of my big things is sometimes I second guess myself a lot on whether or not, yeah, maybe I can do that, maybe I can't do that. But,
Mhm.
it's kind of like with the 3D printing. I started, trying to figure out how to cut things down and the slicers, and it wasn't doing exactly what I wanted. And so I decided that I would go ahead and download Blender. And of course, Blender is a lot like, you know, Photoshop the first time you get into it. There's so many options, you get overwhelmed really quickly.
You
So I am now taking a course in Blender on how to sculpt.
Oh, cool.
So I got a drawing tablet for the computer, for the new computer. I had to buy a new computer because
Man.
my other one was getting beat up transporting back and forth to work. So
Well,
went ahead.
yeah, and there's that economic piece. I just wanna 'cause, it's not necessarily as simple as saying, like, "These materials are cheap," right? I mean, it
Yeah.
does it's time, money, investment. Okay. So what in the world am I actually trying to do? I'm trying to match this so that I could cover up these obvious marks. It's not the best match, but that's
Well,
okay.
I mean, real stonework though is going to have
Exactly.
marks in it.
Yeah. Yep. Yep, yep,
So
yep.
I you might be a bit over analytical, but you can also cover some of those marks up with heavier paint. So
Right, 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 right.
you don't have
So
to. It doesn't have to all be fixed because you're gonna find that purple's a pain in the butt to cut. There's just a basic violet if that's what you're trying to cover, but
No, we're good. And you know what I like? I really like this lighter piece here, and then the dark. Like I don't
giving
know.
yourself some textured and some layering. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real cool.
I'm just sitting here Mod Podging, wet paper towels onto a T shape so I can make a base for my tree. The other thing that I was gonna do at some point was I was thinking about it because I want these to be sturdy. I was thinking about maybe putting in like a lower tier level here with a circle, maybe a plug with some foam, and then making it, kind of give it up. But you can do this too with foam. You can put, two of the 2 inch or two of the 1 inches, glue them together, and then start carving on them. I just don't like the way that it squares off.
So you're talking about like giving it a thicker sort of base?
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, the thing is I want it to have a little bit of weight to it, so it doesn't just topple over.
Yeah, for sure.
A stiff wind, or random burp, and it's over on the ground.
Right.
I don't know why you're still so wet, but you are.
Are there people whose dioramas that you've been looking at for inspiration or that you really just admire? Who are the folks in the
Um,
community that you look at?
I have a
You like
lot of the dioramas, but most of the people that do dioramas, they do like, medieval castles, and
Mhm.
um, they don't do a whole lot of like, this is the forest scene kind of thing. You don't see that a
Mhm.
lot. You see more of like castles and buildings and
Interiors. Yeah.
the street level hero kind of stuff. I'm more exterior because realistically, if my guys are going to battle, now if I was doing something for AWOC, it would definitely be exterior. It would
Right.
be jungle. It would be. See, the thing is with this dio, I can make it be both. I can make it be, you know, it can be Joe or it could be AWOC
Mhm.
because it'll be a jungle. The biggest part of that trick is going to be getting it to where it's. I think it looks a lot better. I don't know what's happening there. All right, boys, stay there.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
All right. Yeah. So it's. I don't think there's anything specific that just trying to get things to where they're nice and set, and maybe if they have a dual purpose. I like, I'm thinking of battle scenes. So
Mhm.
I want a snow scene. I want a water scene. That's why I got the ocean one,
Mhm,
so I can
mhm.
have my torpedo and my shipwreck custom that I'm going to make once I get my second shipwreck in and my second torpedo in from Helidope.
Yep.
So
Hey, how hard would it be for you to give me the power to highlight? Is that I don't know what that all entails. Is that complicated?
highlight.
I've never done that. Like if I were to click to bring it up on, is that too
I don't have any
complicated?
idea how to do that,
Okay,
honestly.
never mind.
Who do you want
Just
me to bring up?
well, there's just stuff in the chat. I just wanted to like Axion's laughing at me. Brick is finally painting. Wah, wah. Um,
Hey, Quip has joined us.
what's going on,
What's up,
Quip?
Quip?
Oh, there. Yep.
Okay, and Don's joined us.
Oz wants me to sing. Welcome to the jungle. We got
Does he really want you to
flame.
sing?
No, I don't know.
Okay,
It
hang on.
triggered me.
Uh, Finally painting. Finally, you act like you hadn't
Yeah.
been painting.
No. He's accurate. I've been sitting here mixing paints and
Well, that's all right though. Sometimes you got to mix the paints for 20 minutes and paint for 2.
no,
That's how that's
if
how
I'd
color
planned this
matching
out
works.
better, again, I
And
switched my
apparently,
plan.
Action is making fun of me because I keep telling him when he says outdoors, and I go, "Ooh," I'm being honest about that. Outdoors, ooh, no, I ain't going outdoors right now. Summertime, 100+ degree temperature where I'm at, pretty much consistently from August through like mid to late September, if not October. Nah, nope, negative. Outside is like
I
Satan farted in your mouth, so no, thank you.
Satan farted in your mouth. Get your farts out of my mouth, Satan.
Okay.
Awesome to see, folks. This is cool. Oh, so Oz is saying he has to add you as a partner on. Oh, yeah, that's a lot. Don't worry about that.
See, I
Master
had
Brooks
my
said,
phone so
Hunter
I
got a
could see him, and
shipwreck.
then
Yeah. Awesome. Don's painting. What are you painting? What are you painting? What are you painting?
who's painting? Wait, where? What?
Dawn is painting now. She's painting
Don
right
is
now.
painting.
Apparently, has been painting. What are you doing? Do tell. Do tell.
Yeah, let us know. What fanciness are you doing? Uh, you? No. Oh.
I'm literally just. So I did change my plan, actually, to sort of address that. I changed my plan because of time, really, and to be able to like do something on this stream a little bit more. I was initially gonna coat this whole thing, do this whole thing in like a brown, but I'm like, oh, that's gonna take forever, and I'm staring down the new school year starting. So I was like, okay, well then I'm gonna do this purplish pink thing, but I didn't
Okay,
have.
Oz is telling me you get one free partner on the stream. You can just
Yeah,
add.
it's a lot though. It sounds like it's complicated. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Um,
Uh, Action is saying he loves being outside when it feels like Shreds and his boxers arguing with my ass about whose swamp it is. So, ew, that not happening. You get over 90 degrees, I don't even want to touch the outside.
yeah, that's not my thing. I moved up here from Southern California for a reason. And Southern California, when I was growing up, wasn't where I lived wasn't like super hot, but it would get up there, at times, 90s.
Yeah.
Here in the Bay, you get deal with the other end of things. I can drive like a mile and all of a sudden it's foggy, like the mist style. And then I get home and it's sunny. Just microclimates for days,
Yeah. Well, I mean, right here where I live right now. Yeah, no, John Emerald Knight knows what I'm talking about. Texas is, right beneath me, and just close enough to the ninth circle of hell, which you don't want to be there either.
Oh man, solidarity with the folks out there. Hope you're staying safe. Yeah, like same folks here in California, like seeing how hot it's getting in places, and I'm feeling a little bit. I just kind of keep my mouth shut because we've been good I'm on the coast, so I'm by the bay, so
Yeah,
and
so
not
you get
far
the
from the
nice
coast.
ocean breeze
Yeah,
until the
for
ocean
now.
water turns 100 degrees, and then it's
Exactly,
not so fun.
and or we're underwater, depending on
Yeah, whichever one happens first.
whichever one happens first. Sorry, my children. Good luck to you.
Going back to painting my rock since it dried. Gotta burn that up because apparently my good brown, I don't know what the hell happened to it.
I didn't
But
finish earlier, I just realized.
I'm using my transparent brown, which is fine. It'll work. You just have to put extra coats because it doesn't cover as well.
So transparent brown essentially is just like thinner so that
Yeah,
it acts more like a not quite a
more of
wash,
a
but yeah.
toner or a shape. Yeah,
Mhm. Got it.
more for tone. If you want to alter the tone of something, make it a little darker, make it a little lighter.
Mhm.
Anything that's transparent. I have a transparent mixing white too, so if I ever need lighten something up.
Ooh, I can hear Avatar: The Last Airbender in the next room.
See, it's weird because on my phone, that's weird.
You're weird.
Well, my phone is not updating the. I'm getting paint all over my mouth, so that'll be fun. Just get me some Windsor Newton out and go to town, I guess.
Where else am I?
All right, that one's done.
Oh God, that's too high. So the next people ask me is, what's with the coveralls? And the answer is, I really like Paramore. No, the answer is, I don't know. I got them when I had to do some work under the house and clean out a burst or a cracked sewer thing, and I've found it to be very useful.
I
don't
really
to
should
worry.
have my smock on, but I don't. And now that you mentioned coveralls, I'm just like, I guess I gotta put my smock on.
Smock.
Smock. Be funny, you don't want to mess up your clothes. All right. Fellas.
So yeah, I think I want to do like weird, like cool kind of tones on this or something. I don't know. I haven't quite figured out where I'm going to go, but
Turn
I
up
am
the
a
light
bit
in there.
curious.
Jeez.
Huh?
Now it's weird. Okay. You were blocking the light. Okay.
Yeah, I realized
had
that.
some weird coloration there.
I forget about this stupid setup that I have.
I thought maybe the asteroids were coming in to land on you.
Not yet. Not yet.
Hey, Ted has joined us. Mr. Darklaw. I did get my shipping notice for my Fei Long and Ryu. Thank you very much. Should have it hopefully next week. Early in the week. And my new adventure, Skelly Tour.
It's
I couldn't find him here. I looked in a couple of the targets, but I didn't really have a chance to go like the 3 or 4 that I could, but I went to 2. I couldn't find him.
That's a great figure, man.
I'm looking forward to him. I loved your kind of preview of him that you showed.
Who'da thunk?
You know what? Sometimes it's for whatever reason they get it really right on a really weird one.
Uh-huh.
It's odd. So I have a feeling we'll get a really right He-Man at some point, and then it'll be some weird obscure He-Man that we don't really think would be a good He-Man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Since we haven't really gotten a good Masterverse head for He-Man. I mean, the new Eternia one is pretty decent, but it's not great.
Yeah. You know how I am with those.
You just change out the heads anyway. You just go Hordak MK and get
exactly. I exercise the Hordak MK option
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fine. I'm really tempted just to get, I got this tuck guard, the one that I got, the engineer, the black suit one.
Yes,
I think I'm just going to put the other Ziri head on it.
Ooh, yeah. I love those customs where people are giving.
I love that
armor.
look. I think that looks great. It's a lot better. The regular head for him just wasn't kind of doing it for me, and then the masked head is kind of okay. It's not great. All right, so there's my tree base. Shove it in here for my tree. See where we're at. No, that's not it. There we go.
Can't even see what I'm doing, folks.
That'll work. Sort of.
I'm like on a higher part.
Right, flipping that around. There we go.
Smack it up. Sorry. Allison. It's Allison's fault.
Getting there.
Flip it up, rub it down. No. All right. So, a couple of things. I'm noticing people talking about PowerCon, which is awesome, and I'm incredibly excited to sort of see what comes out of there, even though it's like I don't know, are there gonna be I don't know that there's necessarily gonna be, like, reveals per se,
I
but
don't know because the Horseman had
oh,
stuff.
no, you're right, duh, what am I saying? You're right,
Yeah,
you're right, you're right,
it's
you're
gonna
right.
be that new wave of cosmics.
Cosmix.
You know,
Oxworks? Was it Oxworks? Is that right?
I
Ozworks?
thought it was gonna be more reasonable with the give me a couple months off, but man, no, no couple months off.
Yeah,
Reset every 2
that's
months.
right, that's right, that's right. Well, now they've got another line. That's what's going on.
Yeah, so I mean, they were teasing the looks like the next wave of cosmics. So
Mhm, that's right. I forgot about that. Anything else that you
I
know
don't
of?
know. Who knows?
I mean,
You
it's
got the
not
Frazettas doing the fire and
mm,
ice figures.
right.
Those are definitely in your wheelhouse.
They are, and it's, Eamon O'Donoghue, who I respect as an artist, super cool guy, nerdy toy collector, is responsible for a lot of the art that you and I appreciate on those Masterverse boxes.
Uh-huh.
I am curious to see how those turn out. Yeah, so I guess the people will be able to look at those up close. That's what's gonna happen
Yeah.
with those, you're
And
right.
then they'll have I'm sure they'll have Toxis Wave up close to be able to look at, and the
Ah, boxes.
Series 3, I think, is another one that they're gonna have the availability of looking at
Series 3 of
of Cosmic.
oh, gotcha, gotcha. Series 3, those are like the turkey-headed lady, the green scorpionish lady?
Well, I know they had the Manny Faces homage
Oh, that's okay,
um,
that's 3.
and the
Yep, yep,
Whiplash
yep, yep,
homage that
that's
they
right.
had them out at ChrisCon, so I guarantee you they'll have them out at PowerCon.
Ooh, I wonder if that has the same problem that your, Kragnar does. No, is it
I hope
Kragnar?
not. I hope it's
I
just an aberration.
I passed on him.
I mean, I
Oh,
don't
wait,
know
no,
because
no,
I
no,
haven't
never
got any
mind.
ogre scales, so
Whiplash
I
does
don't
not
know if
have
this is systemic
yeah,
or what.
I have a ton of ogre scales, like or not a ton, but, 4 or 5. I've got, like the vampire I've got a bunch, and none of them have that issue of their, like,
And
hips
floppy
flaying or
floppy
anything.
hips.
I think it's probably just the weight of those arms,
It could be. I mean, they give you the
which
thing
is
where you
still
can
a
take
flaw.
the arms out, but I
Uh-huh.
mean, at that point, you're kind of if you're taking the arms out, what's the point of getting a four-arm
Right,
guy?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's a problem.
I paid for them arms.
It's
So
a
I
cool
got to
sculpt,
figure out
though.
something to make him a little more stable. I'll probably try some Teflon tape. I got to find my Teflon tape. I haven't used that in forever. But I probably have to hunt that down.
Yeah,
Jared is join us.
are you keeping away from Facebook? Is that what it is? You're not on the cabal?
Me? Yeah, no, I'm not a Facebook
Okay.
person.
No, that makes sense.
Facebook is one of those places where I get pissed off really fast.
Oh, no, yeah, totally got it.
So
Um, Only because that would definitely be the place to sort of see if it's happening. I'm not the best because I don't jump on Facebook a lot. I'm on the Facebook thing basically for the cabal, za
yeah,
for the
I
multiple
mean that
cabal
it's been tempting
and
to
AWOC.
just do an account for just like the toy account.
Mhm. Which is what I do.
So I mean, I probably will break down at some point and do it because there's enough people that it's another way to network. But most of the people that I network with, they're already on other things like Discord, and
Right, right, right.
so it's kind of redundant at that point. But I'm sure there's some groups out there, especially because Kamal only does their lives for the most part on or those Legion, whatever it is only on Facebook, right?
You know what? I
The
don't even
the
watch.
lives that like I can't remember what they're called, but
There is a there is a um There's a couple of different things that are Facebook only through the Cabal, but not necessarily by the Horsemen. Are you referring to something by the Horsemen? Because they do everything
I think it's just the
on
Cabal. I
both.
don't think it's the Horsemen.
Oh, okay. So like, well, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I know Adam was on it not too long
Yes.
ago.
Oh, yeah. So that is there is a podcast. Like, there's that one and the
That's
one
what I'm
that
saying.
Jesse does. Yes. Where they're like people from the Cabal doing it, not necessarily like, Walter.
Ted is calling you out for not accepting his friend request.
On what?
Facebook.
Oh, dude, sorry. I don't really truly exist there. And so I will fix that. I really don't use that thing. Same,
That's
actually,
hilarious.
same with my old personal one.
You know what? There's times I get weird messages, so I'm just like, I don't know you.
Well, see, the thing is, his picture is so damn sexy that I assumed it wasn't a real account.
Yeah, see, there
I
you go.
assumed it was a model
He
being
sent you
used.
you have a spicy photo, so he didn't trust that it was
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
you,
yeah. I
Ted.
was like, no way that that's a real person. That's a bot.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get mixed up in that.
So I have this stuff that I got with a terrarium set, and it's bendable wire, and it's got
Oh, that's
soft
so
foam.
cool.
It's really cool. I honestly wish I would have gotten a couple more sets because this stuff's great,
Yeah.
especially for like a swampy forest kind of. I mean, I could make this with some wire and some hot glue,
Yeah. No. I mean, why?
but it came. It was like $18 for this, the
Yeah.
moss, and this like cork board stuff that I'm going to be using on the dio pieces sitting here staring at me, which I'm getting ready to pull over to the center, which is just my basic base. Now I have to decide how I'm going to set everything.
And so are you saying you got that from a local shop?
Amazon.
Okay, got it.
I'm like, for whatever reason, I am like the world's cheapest person when it comes to Amazon. I will find the cheapest of whatever.
I
Give
mean,
me the deals. Give me the stuff that,
oh yeah, light.
I
That's
was looking at a turntable today and I was like, what's the cheapest? I don't need $25 turntable.
You're not looking for techniques? Oh wait, that kind of turntable.
Yeah, no, not vinyl.
Sorry. That was DJ humor right there.
We're not doing any DJing. Turntable for my figures, because I guess at some point I guess I'll have to do some reviews or something, because apparently people think that I have a voice that I don't, but whatever, I'm sure, me complaining or talking about a figure should be interesting. I try to be positive, so it should even be more interesting.
Yeah, I generally
This also came with that terrarium set. I mean, it was $18 for the terrarium set, and it was
that's gonna be
all
cool.
sorts of good stuff.
Yeah.
Side.
Thanks, bud. I just saw I'm missing a bunch of stuff. Bud is thank you. He was into the brick wall. He wants to do. I missed it. I saw it, then it disappeared. He wanted to
Eldor's
just
telling me to scratch that out, huh? I don't know about you. Want to hear me now? I could sing, but I think we'll avoid that tonight.
Oh my god, I'm going crazy. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I used to do karaoke with the kids on the units.
Uh-huh.
And they'd all be like, "You can't sing." Okay.
Rude kids.
And
My buddy's custom.
the sad thing is that we'd get up and we'd do like the sing star, and I'd mop the floor with them. So they were like, "It's not fair. It's your game." I was like, "Well, you're the one who said I can't sing."
So
Sorry to
Bud's talking
disappoint
about
you.
doing a wall using cardboard. I'd love to see that.
Oh, where's
8:01, 4 minutes ago. Sorry, 8:01 my
4
time.
minutes ago? Dear,
My time.
good gravy. Huh? Well, you
Appreciate that,
could. I
bud.
mean, you'd have to layer it out.
I was gonna say, like, how in your experience with paint, bud, like, how does that? Because when in working with cardboard, there's a little bit of, like, sucks up the moisture and it gets a little bit wonky,
Well, that's why you use the
the Mod Podge.
masking tape to cover the cardboard. You'd have to probably do
Oh, like, just
several
a
layers of
whole
it.
layer of it? Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to do several layers of it probably to keep it from getting too wet,
Yeah, that makes sense,
because it
but
would be hard to work with. So I've got this cork board / log stuff. This is what I've had in my for my quote unquote forest dio. I had that for a while. I got that separately. I think it's like $8, but it's like foam on the back.
that's cool.
And then of course I showed my thing earlier with the
Whoa, you showed your thing, I wasn't looking.
I showed the uh see now you got my brain all the mood here.
That's hanging out with
My
Caleb.
AstroTurf that I got. It was like it's 2 by 6, 2 foot by 6 foot, and it was like $22. So it's a lot of stuff. So I can put that down, but I'll have to shave off some of the grass to make it a little workable area. But I got these are Marauder gun runners stands. They're clear, so that they can be painted on, or they can, whenever you put them down, it'll
Are you gonna
allow me
commit?
to do some more flexibility. But
Okay. Are you gonna commit to that and actually embed those into the thing, or?
more than likely, I'm probably just going to glue them and then work stuff around them, so that I have kind of the scene that I have in my head. It's the other side.
Hey, Skelly's here. I'm so behind. Sorry. This is such a weird thing to manage.
You know what? It's fine. I'm just trying to.
Good to see you, Skelly.
Yeah. As you can see, folks, I
Alberto.
carved this for a different size shelf, and now I'm having to uncarve it.
Yeah, that is
Mostly this piece
thing.
was more my play with the thing, but it is the actual piece that went to this. So thankfully I kept it. Usually I just toss
Okay,
them.
I need to move faster here. Come on.
Now, burn my fingers with some hot glue. This should be fun. Finger burn. All right, you guys, I'm done with you for it. But Skelly would be proud because there's this big pile of foam. I'm going to use that for explosions.
Oh, that's cool. I do wish that like more of the like Masterverse stuff would come out with more like effects kind of stuff, like this, some of the things that you're getting in classified.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I would
I
love to have
guess.
some like lightning effects, or
Yeah.
just like with Godlin, and they gave you those kind of blue hand coverings. That's kind of but give me something like shooting out of the Havoc staff, or maybe something a little more dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my dog outside. He's looking at me right now like, Dad, you're the worst parent. Oh, sorry, Tom.
What's going on, Shark Eyes?
Terrible parent. Just left him outside.
Matthew.
Where's that? What?
No, I'm just saying hi to folk that I missed were in here.
Oh, yeah.
Cardboard wall will warp as a wall.
Where? Who said that?
And Bud says, I'll figure it out. Axioms. I love it. Yeah.
It can, but if you're going to do in between the layers, you're going to have to do a layer, and then you're going to have to solidify each layer.
Yeah. But
So
the figuring it out is the
layer.
fun part, right? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what Bud's saying.
It could work. You just, it depends on how tall you want to make that wall.
Oh, geez, that was not.
The taller you make it, the more the reinforcement is going to be a problem. So
You'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble.
that one is.
This is okay. I'm moving way too fast on this stuff. Like the stuff I did in the last 2 days. You saw it, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I gotta have this ready, and I'm uncovering wet layers of Mod Podge in between these cracks. Because then I painted right on top of them this morning, like at 6 a.m. my time, the black. And so
Oh, that's why you're having issues.
Stuff is not dry, but it's okay.
So did you leave it outside?
No.
No?
No, it's just it was heavy. Like
No, I'm saying leave it outside to dry so it dry in the heat.
Oh, we don't remember the Bay Area thing?
You don't what?
We don't have heat right now.
Oh, you guys are.
It's wet. It's cool and it's humid.
No, that's
cool.
why that's why it's not dry.
Yeah. But no, I didn't leave it outside. It was inside, but yeah. Anyway, there was a dehumidifier because I was also doing laundry. But anyway, it just they were goopy. They're big, big ass like glops of Mod Podge that fell into these cracks. So every now and then I'm popping a bubble, basically. That's like hard on the outside.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, when this thing is done and I'm using it as the backdrop, it's going to be cool. It's going to be like, yeah, wow, it's fun. I made that. Ooh, yes. Okay, cool. Some of the unmixed blue that I put into this thing is now popping in, and that's kind of, I will go back with like a light blue later. But I likes. So you were telling me you can't go to cons, right?
Yeah.
And I understand why. But I'm going to throw something out there that in the age of the internet, it's not that bad to kind of watch the coverage. Like all the SDCC stuff, every year, I love it, man. Because, when you're on the floor, right, you can only see so much in any given moment.
Yeah.
And when you're at home on ToyArc or some other website or on Discord where people are like posting everything, you kind of see it all pretty damn fast. Now, obviously, it's different when you're seeing something in person.
Yeah, the only thing bad about that at-home experience is when you like I was on watching the classified
panel
reveals panel.
Yeah,
and just
that's true.
Some of those people in that chat, I literally had to leave 3 different chats that were following it because of how awful they were being.
Wait, so G.I. Joe fans can be awful?
Oh, they're horrible.
Yeah, I know.
They were being, and it wasn't about the brand. It was about a person that handles the brand.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Who is a good spokesperson for the brand.
Who is a human being that doesn't deserve any of that bullshit. But yeah.
So, I mean, it was just, to me, after a while, that's the only thing. So sometimes I just have to turn off the chats. And yeah, don't ever watch a Hasbro live chat. That is that is something else. That is a different animal altogether.
Well, point being that, it's great. It's not so bad in 2023. You know, when I was younger and we didn't have that same kind of access, that definitely like the FOMO was not only a feeling, but like you really truly were missing out because you couldn't see the stuff for a while, right?
Yeah.
Now it's just a little bit different. And the other added bonus, because people say, but then you can't, buy the stuff. Uh, you know, as we were talking about Cosmic Legion announcements, like it's just a lot of stuff right now, anyways, and maybe
Yeah,
taking
it's
so bad.
if you get in, I honestly, if I actually went to like San Diego Comic Con, I'd be broke by the time I left. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yep. Yep.
it would
Yep.
be bad. I mean, it's so in a way, being trapped at home,
Yes. I'm trying to
it's
find the
not a
bright
bad
side.
thing.
Yes, I'm trying to find the bright side and
I
help.
see this as an absolute win.
Yes.
At least I
Now
won't go broke.
now would I have
I
liked
have
to have
to I
gone?
have to measure
Absolutely.
myself.
Yeah. So I'm not hating on people going because I do. I'd like it given the chance, and we're easy, sure. But it's not so bad. Like all the Legion stuff, G-Con last year,
Yeah.
love it. Love that they stream it. Love that we get to watch it, and it's great. And then yeah, it's not a Hasbro chat. So
Yeah.
it's
That's
healthy.
one good
It's
thing I could say about
civil.
Legion's fans.
Wait, one good thing? What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying in general.
Yes, go ahead.
But there's not that. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a small minority, but I think they get drowned out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good thing.
Oops, I'm working on lower things that you all cannot see.
For anyone trying to figure out why I'm burning my fingers off currently with this hot ass glue, I am trying to put my magnets in so that I can reattach what I took off because I got new shelves that are 4 inches deeper.
What's the base that you're connecting? Is it foam?
Yeah.
Can you, is there a reason to not just like straight up glue it together?
Because I wanted to be able to break off
Oh, you need
in
it to
case
just detach. Yeah, that makes
in
sense.
case I decide to put this on the 12-inch shelf instead of the 16-inch
That
shelf.
makes sense. Yep.
If I don't like the way it'll look, I'll just take off that 4 inches and move on with my life, I guess. Cut and run, cut and run.
Yeah, that magnet thing is a game changer. I really, really appreciate people incorporating magnets more and more, and not just diodes, but some other things too. Like, yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's all fun till you burn your fingers. And that's the trick. Yeah. You're pretty much guaranteed to burn your fingers putting the stuff down.
Oz is going to be at PowerCon and going to be handling some coverage, which is awesome. Him and Jay and Mega J, and it's going to be cool.
Quick apparently is into Legions vicariously. Oh, no. Stay in there. Stay. You stay in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you open it up yet? Quip, I forget because you were not sure.
Oh, was there a debate in Quip's head about the Legions thing?
Oh no, he only Wukong is the first figure that
Oh,
he just grabbed.
okay.
He scored through a trade, and I forget. Sorry, Quip, if you told me this already. I'm getting old, but did you actually open it, or are you keeping it in box?
You gotta open it. You gotta play with it.
Not yet. I gifted my brother. I got 2 Wukongs, one for me, one for my brother, and saw him a couple weeks back. And he opened it, and he's super into it. It's his only Legions-esque figure. He's a G.I. Joe Classified collector, has a bunch of Black Series, has even some 1/6 stuff from back in the day. And Marvel Legends, huge Marvel Legends collection. But so he's only seen the Mythic Legions thing from afar. And so that's his first. And he is super into it for what it's worth. like no surprise really, but just tripping out on the paint job and the packaging. Man, the packaging on that thing alone. I was trying to explain to him like, "Nah, yeah, that's not." Actually, did I explain? Like, it's not standard. It's a
No, it's not.
special, beautiful thing that happens for figure obscura, but it's amazing.
Oh, it would be awesome if it did. Well, the Cosmic
No
Legions, they've
way to
got the
be.
little one piece little dio thing on the inside
That's
of their
true.
boxes.
Yep, yep, yep.
I was surprised when I saw that. And the first one that I opened, I was like, oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
It's the
I don't
benefit
want
of
Slog, but
being the new line.
I would be tempted to get him just for that dio piece.
I skipped on Slog too. He looks awesome, but I don't know if I mentioned it here before, but, you were talking about Ogre Scale.
Yeah,
I was super excited by the idea of Ogre Scale and Legion's doing it because it's like, cool, more diversity on my shelf, right? To kind of really kind of create contrast of scales and, oh, giant creatures or whatever. But now, like that bear's pretty big, the trolls are big. It's to the point where it just looks like it's
that's
almost
all
to
you
the
get.
point where it
Yeah,
looks
those.
like that's my main scale. And then I've got
Yeah,
like
the trolls are a ridiculous size. That ain't happening for me. It was kind of like when some people were asking, I think it was last week, if I was gonna get the cat litter, and I'm like, that's 3 foot by 3 foot. I don't have an extra 9 square feet in my house to give up. I love my other toys too much,
and your family.
and my family. I don't want to go sleep in the garage. That doesn't sound like fun. That
Yeah,
does
I
not
wish I
sound
was
like
in a
fun to me.
position to. I wish I was. Oh God, I so wish I was in a position to get that cat there because it's beautiful. It's I think a historic piece. Like I don't know that just the fact that that thing is being made blows me away. Same with the Thunder Tank. That's how I felt about that. And
Yeah, well, I mean that I
but
could replace. I don't have a coffee table, so I could use that. I could vicariously use that for a coffee table.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, it's really beautiful and just everything I've seen of it. But then I was hearing somebody talk about it. I think it was Kyle was on was it a Toy Kind of Mood maybe? And
Yeah,
he's saying it was like almost 5 feet tall, all the way to the very tip top of the head. And that tripped me out. But it's amazing.
I mean, there's so much good stuff out there. That honestly, if I was just collecting that toy line,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
would be a
yeah.
different story. But
Yep, yep, yep.
it would be worth it then, because then I can, hey, but I had a cat's lair as a kid, so I know what kind
Oh,
of
cool.
I
You
had
had the
that
LJN?
experience
Mhm.
of owning a cat's lair. So now getting one of those apparently is like super rare. So it's like, I could go back and talk to my 17-year-old self who donated my cat's lair, all of my Masters of the Universe figures to charity when we moved out. If I could go back and talk to that person, I'd be like, you know what? Just stick them in an attic. Just find an attic.
Doesn't have to be yours.
Yeah.
Just
Just
go
find
back for
somebody
it
you trust.
later.
Store it in their attic. Beg them, please. Say, hey, I'll pay you $5 a month.
Dun, 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 dun.
So 6.25.
How are folks in the chat doing? Quip. I'd
Anybody
love.
wondering what I'm doing is I am taking measurements to try to line up these holes for my magnets. So, and then I am rubbing hot glue into the hole. Then I'm dropping a magnet.
Talk to me about the magnet thing. How far in do you put them?
I'm
Are you
just
putting
putting
them
them
just so
in
that they're
deep enough
flush?
that they're flush pretty
Okay.
much with the edge.
Uh-huh.
You can put them in deeper, I guess, if they have a good magnetic lock. But these are small magnets, so
Uh-huh. And
I'm
how many
trying to.
could you show us how big those little ones are? So a little.
They're
Okay, got
tiny.
it. Got it.
They're, I think, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I give you, they're about 1/4 of an inch,
Okay.
roughly, diameter.
Okay. And they're going to be strong enough just to kind of hold it there, right? Pull
Yeah,
it
it's
in a
just
little
there to
bit.
just give it a little bit of shift and a little bit of
Mm.
balance. They're nice and they've got a nice snap, so I know that they'll hold together. It's just, okay, which one is it? So,
I forgot what I was. Oh, just trying to read some of the comments. Quip was saying, I'd love it if Four Horsemen made some more of the creatures that are featured on the Sun Wukong box. I want a whole Journey to the West line. And so I don't know, Quip, if you've seen the Noda or Noda Studios or versions. I think you have, yeah, because I think I shared it on the Discord and we looked at it. But they're expanding their Journey to the West, and there's that like crab dude coming. Like there's a bunch of cool stuff coming. They run a little bit smaller, but I don't know. I still go back and forth on their Wukong. Oz has a solution for the whole Thunder Katzler thing. You just
yeah, I know. You store the thunder tank underneath the thunder. Yeah, I know. There's still 3 foot of my house I don't have to give.
Love
I
it.
still have literally. I bought the Castle Grayskull Origins so I could have it for backdrops, and it's literally still sitting in the box.
Mm.
I did get it for $40, so I will say that.
Okay, I wish I could just move on to something. I knew this would happen because like there's so much now footage to cover that this is, I don't know. I'm getting a little self-conscious about how boring this must be to watch, but the voices in my head are strong, man. Hit me with some therapy. I'm
What are you worried
kidding.
about?
I'm just kidding.
No, seriously. What is it
Oh,
that you're
just said
worried
like
about?
this must be really boring for people to watch us like work on these random.
We have
projects
17
and that.
people watching Brick.
I know. I just,
That's not a small amount. I mean,
yeah.
it's not geeked out life numbers, but you know what? I don't think we're quite that charismatic, are we?
I don't know.
It doesn't have to be all
Yeah, I
about.
know.
We're doing the work that people don't normally get to see. They're getting to see how we do this grunt work.
Word. You right.
Dirty stuff. It's down and dirty. Let me figure out which way you go. If that's the magnet's that's the other side. And that was a finger burn. Yeehaw. My poor fingers are going to be bright red when we're done with this.
There was a time when I taught art. I don't know if I told you that.
Quip is saying it's all about the journey. It is.
It is about the journey.
You just gotta have fun with it.
To the west.
You know, we're not reinventing the wheel, but you know what? This is one of those things. Come on, get in there. Down, thank you. Down. That one's good. All right.
I will say making this stuff too also helps you really, really appreciate the the great dials people are selling and how much they're charging for it.
Oh yeah. No, you know.
Yeah.
All it takes is you sitting down to try to do some of this, and you start to appreciate the guy selling the dial pieces for $30.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, dude, you're underselling.
I was gonna say, wait, $30? Where's that?
But I mean, like the mass-produced stuff, that's all papercraft. That doesn't. It's gonna be like that tonight, huh? Okay, all right. It's gonna be like that.
Hmm?
Oh, now that I'm talking to this glue.
Oh, stupid glue. How dare you? Okay.
I have it to the point where it's being difficult.
What else do I want to hit?
I needed to shore up some of this and give it a little bit of texturing.
There
we go. The sad thing is I know I have another section of magnets running around somewhere, and I'm not sure what happened to them. Means I will find them at some point stuck to my, X-Acto knife or something. Yeah, that's gonna need some love, but that's all right. That's what we got this stuff for. So Flunker's Green Sphagnum Moss.
Your sphagnum showing.
Huh?
Nothing.
My moss is showing apparently. I was saying you might one day. Hang on. Start with this one. He enjoys the smaller lives. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to have as big a following, but I enjoy being able to interact more with everybody and getting to know you all more. Well, we appreciate that. And one of these days, he's going to do his alien hive dio. When I do, I will be recording so that I can share it with everyone, inspired by Skelly's work on Snake Mountain. Yeah, I know. I got to flock. I gotta get my glue. I have my Mod Podge, but I don't think it'll really work. I mean, yeah, it will. I mean, it's glue technically, but all right, why not? We'll try it. What's the worst that can happen?
Okay, come on.
I really think I can get you guys.
Anything toy wise that you've seen beyond SECC recently that is interesting? It feels like the Discord news stuff has slowed down a bit, probably.
You know what? We're getting to that point, but we'll see a bunch when Toy Fair happens. So, what is that? October, right?
Mm-hmm.
October for Toy Fair. So we should see a bunch.
In December's New York, I want to say.
Should see a bunch there, and then we got in between that we got a Pulse Con at Hasbro. But I think we'll see a little bit differentiation. I'll be interested to see when Mattel does their next wave after that one wave that they showed at San Diego, because none of that stuff is coming home.
You're talking about Origins?
Masterverse.
Oh, Masterverse. No, yeah. Tell me more.
I don't need any of them. Why do I need the?
Why do you need any of this stuff? But no, to be more precise,
I don't need another sorceress. I don't need another.
But it's Tila.
Trapjaw. I don't need it. I know it's Tila, but there's a point in which it's just more of the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I know why they do it, but I think that wave is just gonna sit.
I'm with you.
I don't see needing it this early. And that Man at Arms, I don't like that Man at Arms. I like the one we just got. That deluxe one is fantastic.
I'm exactly with you on that first set of reveals, and then they revealed a couple more when they did the Revolutions panel, right? And then that's when I was like, "Ooh, I need those. I want the Gwildor. I want the Orko."
The Gwildor is the only one that's tempting, and I know it's a 2-pack with the Orko, but I mean that one. I mean, I'm getting to the point with Masterverse where I'm just gonna wait till they hit, discount. I mean, I feel bad doing that because I know that's bad for the line, but it just I had that wave with Prince Adam and Clamp Champ and um, the Horde Skeletor, and then I'm just realizing that I have like 6 versions of Skeletor. Do I need a 7th or 8th or 9th or? I mean, Skeletor is becoming the Snake Eyes of
He is.
the Masterverse line.
And I've
There we
kind
go.
of been here for it.
You
At least
know?
they've been different variations.
Yeah, well, they need something else. I mean, we've got a bunch of figures that you can do that are out there that haven't
Yeah,
been done
so to
yet.
me, the trap jaw was a weird one. The Man at Arms was a weird one because we were, like you said, and like the trap jaw isn't tremendously far from the one we got.
Yeah, but the thing is that the one we got is it is a trap jaw and it looks exactly like you want trap jaw to look.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I
So
just
I get that.
I get that they're trying to do the new Eternia for all of the characters, but and I mean then you got the new Eternia Triclops. Again, it's another character that we already have, so it's kind of like, I don't need you.
Okay.
So I'll be saving $100 there, which of course will probably just go to Cosmic Legions this week. You know.
I was gonna say. Yeah, no, I'm the same. I'm not gonna get the Triclops. I was a sucker.
I'm going to be very, very careful with this next wave of Legions, though. Just because, yeah, no, it's been an expensive few months, and then I got all of this. I think it's like $700 worth of classified stuff going to hit between now and November.
I don't know how you're not, there's a lot.
It's a
Classified is
lot.
an amazing line, and it's hard to pick and choose. Masterverse, not nearly as amazing in my opinion, but I actually don't collect classified. I do collect Masterverse, so just to be clear, I'm hating on myself. But yeah, that's a lot to kind of navigate through and kind of pick. And then there's AWOC, and all
Well,
the
I mean, yeah, and then we got the next
Woo!
wave of AWOC that's going to hit before Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So I pre-ordered that, but I'm paying for that one a little bit, and then I'll end up paying the rest whenever, over that. But it's just a lot. It's just a lot coming out.
Sure. Okay. So Masterverse is going to be the place that's going to start to
Pinched,
cut.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Are
right
you?
now I am dry brushing, in case people want to know.
Tell me about your dry brushing technique.
I'm just putting on a little bit of transparent white dry brush to give it a little bit of an aged look to the, because this was the paper towel, the Mod Podge, the masking tape. And this just will give it some highlights in some places.
But did you sort of water it down yourself, the white that you're using, or is it
No, it's
No.
just straight from the tube.
Okay, but it's a transparent.
Yeah, it's a transparent. But I'm also putting it on very lightly. I'm just trying to get enough on to give me some areas of bright and shiny.
Shiny reminds me that I need to get Chris. I want to get on a stream again with Chris. It's been a while. Shiny plastic people.
But Eldor gave me a good idea on the tree on Monday night. So at some point I'm going to have to try that. But he uses the masking tape and kind of twists it and ties it off and does some interesting. I was talking about mixing essential oils in what? In the moss?
To make it smell?
Did we get lost in the moss? Kind of get lost in the sauce instead. Hang on. Where are we at here? Let's go back. Okay, you got a flock moss. Okay. Asking Bangor Tuesday, who's excited? crowd funds. Yeah, the crowd funds are. There's a lot of them.
Wait,
I
do me a favor.
honestly, there's just I'm glad that they didn't do. They gave some breadth of distance between the HasLabs, but man, if you were a TVC collector and a classified collector, you're having an expensive 3 months.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's a lot to
If-
collect.
Yeah, that was ridiculous amount.
And the thing
No,
is, like, the
and
quality
then
on these toys is just it just keeps increasing, right? So it's
yeah,
not like, "Oh, that one's just bad. I'm not gonna collect it anymore." That's just it's not really happening. If anything, they're all getting better and better. So there's gonna be some tough choices people need to make.
Action was asking about doing the flocking. Not sure how to scent it. Yeah, you can pretty much get this. Oz is right. Essential oils is the right way to do that. Eldor Bob says paint over everything in black, then a light dry brush of white for where the light falls. That comes in with the dry brush of grace. Yeah, you can do that too. Yep. And then everybody, or Miss Allison is talking about Fang War on Tuesday. I'm not getting him, but if people need me to get him, I may be able to swing one or two. I don't need him personally,
He looks
but
really cool though, man. Those fangs.
yeah, it's cool looking. I just don't do a whole lot of Origins figures. There's some that I want just so I can have like a version, but now that we're getting the Filmation versions, I'll be able to get a trap jaw.
I was just gonna ask you that. Are you a Filmation guy?
Well, no, it just has nothing to do with that. I just want trap jaw in Origins form. So I'll have a
Because
trap
you
jaw and I'll have a uh, Triclops.
Mhm.
And those are the ones. Those toys had some meaning to me as a kid. So I'm just gonna be getting those versions just because those are the versions that are gonna be reasonable. Because getting them any other way is ridiculous, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, I don't pay for that whole. I don't do the evil bay if I can avoid it. Now, if I don't have any other choice, then it's a different story. But I found that I pretty much could find a way to get away from the evil bay. Wow, I did not realize we had been going that long.
Good ice. Oh, hey.
2 hours.
Yeah, I could lose myself and keep working like for a while.
Oh, and I got so much. I mean, literally, I got out a bunch of stuff thinking that, yeah, I can probably do that, and I can probably do that, and I probably no,
Mm-hmm.
nope, not really. I got my second rock done, although I'm not overly did not take it very well, so I may have to redo some of that. But then again, it could be the paint. We can't find my good raw umber. But
Romberg.
yeah, no.
Fangor. Did folks see the interview with by Dad at Arms with Rob David? Did you see that, Aaron?
Mm-mm.
It's great. It's fantastic. But in it are some teases that they're talking about, you know, how like, oh, keeping in the tradition of Masters Universe, whenever someone gets a new power set, they often get a glow up, they get a makeover, and that there might be a sorceress. This is funny, consider what we were just talking about, but there might be a Tila or a new Tila slash sorceress. And he said, I hope you like the color green.
Oh, so they're gonna do a snake Tila
Either or yeah, there's
or the
they only
goddess.
yeah, there's a couple of different versions. That's why it wasn't very clear. I assumed a lot of people said that certain armor, the snake armor, but I'm assuming it's more about the potential of goddess, maybe. I don't know. Either
Maybe.
way, point being, like, there was a lot of cool stuff shared in that, including I like demystifying some of the, like, actually hearing from the horse's mouth, their perspective on some of the echo
Choices.
chambery,
Yeah.
things that people like talking about revolutions, and he had a lot to share that was really interesting. And one of the things that I kind of pointed out on the Discord that we're both on, that just the notion of Adam. I've never been a big Adam person. I've been always like, yeah, I really like the mini comics thing, and it felt a little Clark Kenty, like a little too reminiscent of that. But he was kind of talking about how, like, it's really all about Adam. Otherwise, you
Hmm.
just sort of have this flat, like, big buff, powerful dude. And part of the charm of the character is that um, he doesn't stay that all the time, right? He is inclined to be, the notion that power can corrupt and be misused, and that's why he has the power, is because he is Adam, like
Yeah.
the character of Adam. And they contrast that with Skeletor being the, like, wanting the power, and the notion of him, like, not wanting to ever get rid of it, right? So we saw a
Yeah.
little bit of that in Revelation. We saw that idea being toyed with in the CGI show, and I'm like, you know what, that's actually really rad. That was the first time I felt particularly convinced that, like, okay, I think I'm down with Adam. Um,
Well, I think the good thing about Revelations though with Adam though is I know in the original cartoon in the original toy line they made him the same and they made it because that was how they did the bucks, but there
and it
was
was
no
cheaper to
reason to
animate.
keep Adam the same size as
Yes,
He-Man in
yes,
the cartoon.
yes, right. And they did that because it was easier to animate from there. The budget was
Yeah.
like, and yes, and that's exactly right. Like, that was part of what always bothered me about it was, hey man, it's the same guy. And also, just like, wait, you're trying to tell me all of a sudden he's weak, but he's, like, built like an ox? And
Yeah.
and there was something about the notion, no, he's actually a young kid, or and
See, and that makes more sense to make him
yes.
a kid. It makes him smaller. It makes him.
Mhm.
Yep.
And the whole notion of, like, because the idea was, well, we're seeing all these kids really gravitating to the idea of having the power, and it's like, yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, talking about, like, young kids often feel like they lack agency or power, right, as
Yeah.
young people. And so that makes a lot more sense. And I think that's what always kind of got lost in the translation, in the filmation version, right, for me.
Yeah.
And so that never quite hit. It just felt a
Because
little
he
stiff.
looks because he looks as powerful as He-Man,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
always, I mean, especially for a kid, seeing that we would have like, oh, well, yeah, they're the same size.
Anyway, it's a great interview, and I love that kind of, like, hearing creators actually speak about these characters as much as I love hearing us, our friends on YouTube,
Yeah.
speculating and talking. I love just sort of hearing from them and getting a sense of, like us right now. We're talking about this thing that we're creating. I love to hear them do the same.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it's understanding why they make the creative choices is always interesting.
mhm.
You don't always get that insight. I mean, a lot of it we end up getting years later in books and documentaries if you're
Yep,
lucky.
yep. And he addressed the sorry, we're at the portion of the show where we're just painting and just talking, because I want to talk to people in real life about this stuff. Um, talking about the live action Netflix show movie.
Yeah.
And, like, some people kind of like, oh yeah, it's never gonna happen, and sort of like it's signaling what it signals for the brand, etc. But he sort of pointed out, like, I wouldn't read too much into it in terms of that. It's not, and it's also not necessarily a sign that like, oh, it's a ruined
The end of the
IP or
world, dark
whatever.
clouds are looming. It just means that
Well,
somebody didn't want to spend the money to finish developing it.
yeah, I
Because they're
think that's
looking right now, and all those companies, Netflix,
yes, exactly,
Warner
it's that.
Brothers, all of the big guys, they're all looking
Mhm.
to save a buck right now, and
Exactly.
killing a movie in development does two
It
things for them. One, it allows them to recoup that as a tax break.
Yep, yep, yep.
So they're using that, and someone else can pick up the ball with the development if they wanted to.
Yeah, exactly, and I think, yeah, and, he's like, "I don't work in the film division," but it's just a lot more involved and a lot riskier of a proposition, so, um, anyway, the fact that, s yeah, that's
I
all.
think people
Worth
read too
watching.
much into it. But the thing is that a lot of those properties that we love so much, they're really hard to adapt into a feature length film.
Oh,
Legitimately,
yes. 100%, 100%.
they're designed more for serialized
Yep, yep.
enjoyment.
Or
I
animated
think
or
that's one of the
comic.
reasons why we have so many issues. And even when they do make a movie, it's not great. I mean, a perfect example of that is like Transformers. Are they
Yeah.
good? Are they great movies? No. Are they watchable? Yes. But you know, that Rise of the Beast, I watched that. I've watched it actually a couple times. It's actually decent.
That's the
Is it
newest one?
great? Yeah, the most recent one. It's on
Oh, that's
Paramount Plus.
awesome. Oh, it's on now. Okay, cool, cool. I gotta watch it.
So I got to watch it, and I enjoyed it. I've watched it a couple times, so I kind of have to
Okay.
say that it's not. I mean, yeah, it's not your typical. Um, it's definitely you can tell that there's not that Michael Bay, but it is, if you know what I mean.
Is it as good as Bumblebee was?
Yeah, I would say it's good. I think
Okay.
there's some, exposition light stuff that should have been in it, but
I
it kind
really,
of misses
really,
the point of the bad guys. But
'cause I really, 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 really liked Bumblebee.
yeah, and Bumblebee had heart though. This one, it tries to. I just think it's kind of falls a little bit flat on that end.
Okay, okay.
Maybe
I'm a
that's just the Haley Steinfeld effect. I don't know.
She's great. I'm a bit of a fan of hers, so she's Filipina too. A lot of folks don't realize that.
So, yeah, I'm having to. I thought I got this magnet on the right direction. No, it's always the fun part. Then you gotta pull it out, take the glue off. See, folks, live distress, live disaster, live disaster.
Yeah, Allison says echoed what you're saying about the severe money problems. And flip side is, they Mattel just rocked it with Barbie, so
Yeah.
it's not. So the other piece of the interview that was interesting and was just sort of affirming some of the things that I was wondering about, because he kept talking about the particular challenges that Masters Universe has. One of them being, he's like, we've showed different iterations. He's worked on the CGI show and Revelation. It's like, no matter what we do, you put that character as originally designed in front of a modern kid. It's like it was almost like he said is a consistent response. And the question being, why is he naked? And their tolerance or their sort of like comfort, I don't know if comfort's the word, because they weren't like weirded out necessarily.
Yeah.
But like, if you look at maybe the things that they're looking at, yeah, that's the barbarian thing.
Yeah,
It's just
the
not.
sword and sorcerer barbarians. That was
Yeah,
kind of the big thing, right
yes.
after Conan. That's when we got all of this stuff.
And these kids are like, they use technology all the time, and like, like they got a little bit more maybe like modern conception, yeah, just whatever. They're like
Well, and the
modern
and
tastes
the
than you and
CGI
I.
was
Say again?
more into the science fiction aspect of it than the
You're talking about the CGI?
yeah, the
That we
CGI was
said?
more of the science fiction aspect of
Well,
it than
that's what I thought was interesting was him
the sword and
talking about.
sorcery.
Well, that was the interesting part was he said we had the hardest talking about how challenging it was to redesign him for that
Yeah,
show in particular, because they found like, well, let's just put like armor because the kids like are into that. But then again, it rubs up against the sort of spirit of this, like, no, I mean, he's supposed to be the all powerful like character. At a certain point, it's kind of like, why is he using all this armor? Like he's like
yeah,
he referenced Tony Stark. It's like it's not him, it's now what he's wearing
yeah,
that is
yeah.
powerful. And
I
so
can see that. I can
I
see
was like,
that
oh, these
going.
are all like really cool like story points that were really interesting to me. And at a certain point, it's like you lose the spirit of the character. And anyway, I thought that was really cool. Some really cool points about like how they decided to um change Duncan, made him younger, etc. All that to say, it's really cool. I don't get any money for promoting Dad at Arms. I just think he's a cool dude. Seems like a cool dude. Cool channel. Great interviews. He's got a bunch too with those folks.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of interviews with people. It's
Yeah.
he does a pretty good job with those.
So
I'm
definitely.
always surprised when I find those like diamond in the rough kind of guys like him. It's kind of like how I found, Oz and the rest of you guys. I mean, that was
It's
luck.
funny that you say diamond in the rough because I just sort of always assume, oh yeah, no, these guys have been doing it forever and are like huge. So I don't know. Yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah, it's
Good stuff.
really. Oh, oh,
Yeah, Allison, Dad at
nope,
Arms.
that's not it. I had it right in.
Alberto says, "Oh, she's Pinoy." Yeah, yeah, dude. Haley Steinfeld, Pinoy, and I want to say maybe Swiss. I don't know. But but she's just a damn good actor. Even when she was a little kid, she's like, "Whoa,
Mm-hmm.
this kid's got bars." Like, yeah. So
She was. I don't think there's been a thing that she's been in that I haven't enjoyed. Even Dickinson, which was weird because I
oh,
shouldn't have enjoyed that.
really? Oh my god, I love Dickinson. Yes, you should have enjoyed it.
I don't know. It's just historical period stuff makes me kind of lose it
Yeah,
sometimes.
it was strange, but I kind of bought into it at a certain point. Which like, oh, this is kind of like, yeah, at first I was weirded out by it, and then I was just kind of like, wow, this is weird that this is working for me. Wiz Khalifa is like death or whatever. It was dope.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what we got. La, 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 la. Zazel has joined us. Thank you,
Hey,
Zazel. I'm sure it's early morning in Australia right now for him. Wait. Okay, now I'm confused. What do we got here?
yeah. As far as the cleanup, oh no, I know what I want to clean up. This part's bugging me.
We're gonna try this again.
Magnets.
Well, I got one magnet I think is on the wrong direction again. I thought it was the end one, but I don't think so.
Oh, polarity.
Yeah.
I wondered about that with magnets too. Like, oh, what is
Yeah,
that?
it's a pain in the ass sometimes.
So you can't just
That's my big gripe. You get
simplify.
it just wrong and you're gonna eat it.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
But luckily they pull right out and you start back over.
But they're magnets. They're so cool.
They are cool. Until you gotta keep pulling them out. Put them in right.
Oh, Oz is saying that Dad at Arms just started his channel. Yeah, man. But has he been around? Like, I'm assuming he's like has he been doing stuff or just been in like, I don't know, He-Man.org or something?
I don't know, but he's had a lot of good interviews already. So he's just started his channel, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, man, it's wild. Sheridan, the Tims. You got both Tims. You got Ted Biaselli. Like, wow, that's cool. You go.
Maybe industry insider. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, he's pretty geographically far from the industry, but maybe he knows something. Or maybe he's just one of those things where he just asks. You know what I mean?
You know what? That's the weirdest thing is when you say that, you're like, just ask.
Yeah.
What's the worst that
just
could happen? You're
asked.
like, oh, I don't know. Why are they going to come on my show? That was kind of what happened with Hooded Cobra Commander. I was like, why are we going to go on my show? I got like 140 subscribers. What are you talking about? All right.
Yeah, some of this stuff is not even ever going to show up on camera. So why am I tripping?
No, you can't really see what you're doing, but I can understand what you're doing, but I don't know that they can see it on camera. Even I tried to put you on full screen there for a while,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't think it was obvious.
No, that's all right. I'm doing stuff, I swear. Yeah, if you zoom in too close, you realize that there's nothing on my brush. I'm just moving around here faking it.
You're just touching it and making it look like there's something there, right?
Just
I'm busy fighting the hot glue spider webs, so you know. Spiders. I'm about 2.2 seconds away from getting out the wood skewers and just taking care of this that way.
Oz mentioned something. Do you know about that? Is that a story is that something that actually happened to you, Oz, or
what, this?
Yeah, is that something that actually happened, or is that happened to him or somebody else?
Interesting.
Don't
know.
He'll
tell,
tell us.
or do
He'll
tell.
tell us. Okay. Major need. Where's the major need? Good there. Quadrant done. So do you get to go to like movie theaters much and watch movies, or is that a challenge?
It's kind of a rare thing. It happens. Usually it's a special thing.
Mm-hmm.
I took my son to go see the Mario Brothers movie.
Ooh.
And then my wife and I had a date night. So occasionally we get to go.
I just asked.
It requires some heavy logistical planning. So,
yeah, I can imagine, or I can sort of imagine.
So it requires a little bit of logistics, but we can get it done sometimes.
So there's just a lot of great movies out that I've missed. I still haven't seen Barbie.
Most of the movies I end up waiting until it comes out on video, like Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
I did see that.
I waited till it came out on digital where you could buy it, and then I bought it. I mean, that kind of stuff for me is usually a day one purchase.
Mm-hmm.
The Flash, I'm waiting on till it goes to $9.95, and then I'll pony up $10.
What is it normally?
Like 20.
Oh, I see.
I just can't bring myself to pay $20 after Black Adam. I paid $20 for that and was disappointed. It wasn't that one. It was one in the middle. There we go.
The bad magnet.
Found the magnet that was a problem. Only took me 4 magnets. We're good. Let's see. Now it's all stuck together.
I'm running out of time for movies, so I have to make a decision this weekend. Either Haunted Mansion or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I know for some of the people that are here, that might seem like a really clear, easy answer. But for me,
apparently Adam is just bringing out he remembers the Alamo, and I have no idea what that means. I think that's in reference to the Alamo thing that Oz was talking about. But hey, whatever, Adam. Whatever works. You pay 20 to see a movie in a theater? No, Adam. That was to buy the digital version of it at home was $20. Me being Captain Cheapo, if the movie is not well received, I'm gonna wait till it's $9.95 or less. Then I will pony up the cash because I'm cheap.
And that's about what people are paying to go see the movies in the evenings here in San Francisco area.
What,
$20.
20? That's ridiculous. Ooh.
You do the Costco thing, you can probably get it down to, I think, like 17 or something.
Define the Costco thing.
If you're a teacher who kids appreciate, sometimes you can not pay at all, which has worked a lot. It doesn't work for your kids, though. It's kind of hard. They can't get my kids in all the time.
Not everything works for everybody all the time.
So anyway, I'm trying to figure it out. Because the kids are actually, I tried to sell them on the Ninja Turtles because that's the one I want to see more than Haunted Mansion.
Sometimes isn't that just a dad, dad decision there?
No.
So guys, we'll go see that some other time.
Haunted Mansion actually does look really fun, and I'm a big Disney parks nerd, and I appreciate what they're trying to do with that one. So, but I think that's where we'll probably end up going. Okay, I think I've done the cleanup. I think I want to do a different color. Let's just try something.
Apparently, you can get discount movie tickets for, I would assume, Barbie from the Mattel store.
Oh, yeah?
Quip only paid $20 for 3 tickets to the early access viewing. Interesting. Oh.
Is he talking about Barbie or Turtles?
Turtles.
Okay,
Mayhem.
I know he saw Turtles.
And what Studio Hinge is here, and he is taking... Okay, for a second there, I thought he said this weekend or else. It says this weekend or next. I was like, oh.
This weekend or else. Watch it.
Or else. Yeah, we going.
Oh, well, that's a lot bluer than I thought. But let's see what happens.
Yeah. Command decisions there. Command decisions.
Cobb. Curious, down where you're at, how much is a movie these days?
How about, Jacob?
Yeah. Yeah, things are obviously nutty up here, but
I grew up
not too far.
Let's see, 2 tickets. The tickets themselves are about 12 each.
12 for an evening movie?
Yeah.
Oh man,
unless it's a Tuesday night, which is usually when we go.
Damn, I'm I remember
we get the
those
discount,
days.
Tuesday night discount. For whatever reason, I guess Tuesday night is not a popular night, but you get extra money off if you go on Tuesdays.
Yeah. That's
So
great.
we go on Tuesdays if we're gonna go watch a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out. Okay, no, wait.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
think
Okay.
Jacob's ever answered your question.
I know,
Jacob, he
no,
wants
but
to know how much a movie is down in
all good, all
the
good.
lower, about
Oh,
10, like
in
under
the
10.
morning. Yeah. No, but like not the first couple shows, like the regular price. Curious. 10 in each in that's still cheaper than mine. Quit. Nice. Man. Yeah, I will definitely appreciate that.
Yeah,
I will see.
the
Oh,
soundtrack I've heard is great. So
cool.
that'll be one of those movies I probably have to watch by myself because
Yo,
I
I
have nobody in the house to
love
watch
watching movies
Turtles.
by myself, dude.
I
I
watch a lot of movies
love
by myself
yeah. I love it. For the
because
longest time I was I'd see all the Star Wars movies by myself first day. Don't gotta worry about tickets because one a single ticket, and, whatever. And I love it. What's up?
yeah, no, I miss the the kid free days when I could go to do whatever I wanted.
Sure. Yeah. I used to do the late night ones too, but now, getting old. It's
Yeah.
like that's a guaranteed like, yeah, I'll watch the first 40 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's hitting
It's
11:15 where I'm at.
sun's getting a little low in the sky there, big guy.
Yeah, you could say that. I'm an old man. I'm.
Oh god, here I go. Painting again in places you all can't see. My bad. So now I'm just adding this like blue. It's using a translucent blue and just hitting some spots to add a little bit of, I don't know, maybe this is a crystalline thing. Just get some fantasy up in her.
So are the tick marks like right in the middle of it? Are those is that carving or is that paint?
Which are you referring to? Black?
No.
Which tick
That
mark?
I know. The like you can see
Tell me to move left or right, up, down.
right where your edge of your thing is at right now. Where you see how there's a serration there.
Yeah, that's straight from the carving and the
Uh,
light. And I intentionally kept some of the top surface of the foam because it's lighter
yeah.
and flatter and cleaner.
I was
It's just
trying to
the way
figure out
it
if that was paint or if that was carved.
that's the beauty of that carving thing, man. Yeah, no, it's carving. And so when I carved it, I, intentionally went as deep as I could to kind of create the illusion that this is a separate material, like metal, and that this is like up against it. So I'm going in, this is an inch deep. I'm going in at about half an inch, sometimes a little past half an inch on some of them. And so some of these are actually, why am I talking? Just,
Yeah. Okay.
they're
I
three
see it
dimensional.
now.
Yeah.
Okay. It was just the way the light was hitting it. I wasn't sure if it was paint or if it was carved. So apparently Kayla got Adam his translucent Goku.
Yeah.
Adam and his translucent figures.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I found a guy in Taiwan who's shipped out 2 Range Vipers.
Ah,
He's a seller that does Star Wars and GI Joe. That's all he sells.
did you order in Walmart?
I had some on order and then I canceled them
Oh,
because I
you
had
actually canceled yours. They didn't do it for you.
no. I was making if I can try to find them somewhere, I
Yeah. No,
will.
that's great.
Because after that experience with the retro cards, I can't do it.
Oh, because of
I
the
can't.
packaging?
Oh, it was awful. I
Yeah.
got mangled cards every single time. After a while, you just get tired of returning crap. At that point, it's just where you wash your hand. They're like, eh. So if I can get it from Pulse, I'll order it from Pulse. But you know, figured what's the worst that could happen? I order them from Taiwan. They get shipped. It takes 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I asked because
But,
that was, again, I don't collect classified, but my brother wanted more. He's like kind of army building them, and I guess there was a max 2 of them.
yeah,
And
you.
so I was one
He's
of those.
got them. They're $27.99 each, and then you have to add in like I think it was like $20 shipping for the 2 that I ordered.
Ooh.
But
How much
that's
was it at Walmart?
no, it was from a
No.
guy that's in
No, no,
Taiwan
no,
that
no, no. I'm
actually
asking if you remember how much it was, like to compare.
$24.99.
Oh, okay. Okay,
So it's
okay.
only they're $3 more a figure, and the shipping is not unreasonable considering it's international shipping.
Mhm.
So I'll sometimes when you got to pay for something, you got to pay for it. So.
Sure.
And I wasn't getting ripped off. At least I didn't feel like I was. And the guy has a decent reputation in the community that he built up with the Star Wars folks that he's done business with before. So
Well, yes, I'm one of those that I ordered them. So that was my first and only experience dealing with Walmart in that way of like, had 2 of them on order, randomly got that message. Clearly, it's just a system error or something saying that they were $0. And then, um, saying that my pre-orders were, I don't know if it was canceled or whatever. And
canceled.
then,
They're probably canceled.
but then they're back. No, but then they're back. So it was just freaking weird.
Hey,
Like,
I don't think the left hand knows what the right hand's doing. If you
so,
want my opinion on that one.
so weird.
You would think with a large multinational corporation, they might be able to do something simple as logistics, but no, that's a foreign subject. Oh man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kayla hooked you up, Adam. I got to hang out with Kayla, which was awesome. Whenever I get that opportunity. We're
Yeah, I
like
saw that. That's cool.
45 minutes apart, roughly. Yeah, and she got me a motherboard, which guess who hasn't unboxed it yet?
I don't know. Hey, Oz, if tomorrow we're doing unboxing, I got a good one. A couple good ones. I still haven't opened my last wave of Masterverse. It's sitting in the box over there on my thing.
Same. Is that with Faker?
Yeah. And also I
Mhm.
haven't opened the Attila set.
Gorgo and Attila? That's a gorgeous one.
It's still sitting there. It's literally sitting there on top.
Yeah, I gotcha. No, I'm
So
not. I get it. You know me. I tried to follow your
I'm doing
suggestions,
better.
but
I have to. I have to get it. I have to get it. Because I got to get boxes up out of the garage, put them up in the attic, and then I got to decide what I'm going to do with my legends that aren't X-Men. I
are they
boxed
not
them.
currently being displayed? Oh, so you've boxed them up.
I boxed my
Oops.
MCU figures about
Uh,
3 months ago. And I'm really debating whether or not I want to box the rest of my non X-Men. I'll keep the Fantastic Four probably out and like Hydra and AIM. But
Ooh, I've never heard it. AIM. Cool.
Advanced Idea Mechanics.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
the one with MODOK.
No, I'm familiar. I just never heard anyone spell it out, but yes.
Oh, okay. I'm
No,
weird
it's just
like
like
that.
no, I love that kind of stuff. It's like, growing up, because this is before cartoons and we were reading, is it like Moira? Is it Mora McTaggart?
Moira.
It's like
Moira.
it was just stuff like
Moira.
that. So I was genuinely like, "Oh, that's neat," just hearing how people pronounce it.
Yeah. No,
Like Submariner, I grew up with Submariner, and then people were calling it
so I've got a bunch
Submariner.
of those that I need to decide what I'm going to do with. if I'm going to
Okay,
box
sorry.
them and then
Uh-huh.
put stuff up, like, because I want to get my AWOC a better
Mm,
display, and I want
yeah.
2 shelves for it. So the best way to do that is put up my Marvel characters that I'm not really looking at or enjoying. So
Are you looking to sell them? Are you gonna keep them? Like,
no, I'll keep them.
what's
I'm just
yeah,
I'll
yeah, okay.
once I get up the other set of shelves, then I'll be pulling back out.
Mhm.
But it's one of those things where I'm looking at it as I'm not really getting any of those anymore.
Yeah.
I pick up the random X-Men ones. I got 3 or 4 of that last wave of 6, 4 of them.
X-Men, you said?
Yeah, the Chode wave.
Uh-huh.
I got,
That's another one,
but
chode.
they were on clearance, so I got most of them. I couldn't find Fang or Kid Omega, so
Fang.
those I'll pick up later on when they
Fang
go on
was
sale at Pulse.
who was Fang? One of the snake dudes?
No,
Serpent
he's
Society?
a Praetorian Guard,
Oh,
Lalandra's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
guard.
the wolfy looking dude.
Yeah,
That's right.
the
Praetorian
one
Guard.
Wolverine beat and took his outfit.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's Chod, but I say Chode because he's kind of chodish.
Yeah, odd. Chode
Chod,
and his homie Taint.
yeah. Hipsiba, Rava, Rava, like a Reshagul. Man, I did get some stuff done, I think.
We did. It's one of those things where, yeah, I'm kind of like, did I get much done?
Well, I mean, I got my base on this thing done. Then I can probably do some black to it and then go from there. I'm just glad the magnets worked, and they're doing pretty well. As far as I was a little worried that they weren't going to be strong enough, but it's one of those times when you get the stuff and you're like, I hope it'll work. But I've got this bark to lay out. See, I got this for my eels and my torpedo, and I know I
Is it?
sort of showed it earlier, but this is going to be my water backdrop.
It's just a piece of fabric, yeah? Is it shiny? Like, is it going to reflect too much, or is it cool? Or it's going to work?
It's a little shiny,
Okay. Just wondering if it will reflect, be pain in the butt. Light.
but it's going to have like what my plan is I'm going to have some acrylic risers for the boats.
Okay.
So they'll be sitting on the acrylic risers. So the little water effects will be underneath them.
Uh-huh.
And then underneath them will be like eels and shipwreck, that my shipwreck custom that I'm going to do in my torpedo. And they'll be fighting each other in that underwater scene underneath on stands.
Nice.
So I'm because those Hasbro stands are fantastic for getting nice dynamic poses with. Shockingly, I was not expecting those stands to be decent at all. To be truthful, but yeah, no, that's my plan with that. And then I'll have a snow scene one, and then I'll have
That's cool.
I need to do a swamp one with my dreadnoughts.
So you're saying you are also going to do a snow diorama?
Yep.
Wow. That'll
But
be
that's
fun.
that's going to be a
Quick
lot
to
easier
be
than it
paint.
sounds.
Yeah. I guess you just keep painting it white when you make little mistakes.
Well, I mean, the white isn't going to be the problem. It's going to be Once I get it down, I'm gonna it's gonna be like kinetic sand, but I'll have more than likely I'll have some type of plexiglass around it so it doesn't go out everywhere.
Do they make white kinetic sand? Are you gonna color it or?
I'm pretty sure I can get it close to white.
Oh, cool.
Worst case scenario, I could get me some flour and some
Sure. Cocaine.
professional stuff.
That just flew right by, but sure. Fang was the guy. Wolverine stole his clothes. Yeah, beat him and jacked his Jordans. Will you get a nightclub one in case they do the shipwreck and breakdancing Snake Eyes exclusive set?
Well, that one I can make on my 3D printer, so that wouldn't be that hard.
Are the I haven't seen the shipwreck figures articulation. Do you think he can hit some of those poses? Can he do a solid up rock?
Oh, I'm sure you could. It's got decent articulation.
Go shipwreck. Go shipwreck.
All right, hang on. I'm trying to get this thing organized here.
Pull out some of those details. Too much paint.
So quick and dirty backdrops are an easy way to do that. You're doing the hard way, but you know, they
Oh yeah.
I'm currently doing a quick and dirty backdrop, so I can show that it, you know, you can do them in 5 minutes.
I mean, really, I'm not like, I think this is at a point where I could use it functionally. I just need to paint these guys, and that's a flat color because I have like a silverish metallic paint,
Yeah.
and that's all I'm gonna do. I mean, I could, yeah, but and I'd be happy with it as is and keep just editing, you know. But for the purposes of being a backdrop, I'm good. Like I'm happy. So, but and it's just gonna be a fun thing to finish.
Here's the quick and dirty backdrop.
Oh, that's cool.
I just use the stuff that's attached to it. It's on a standard piece of, I think it's 3624. Could be 36.
Did you add a backing to it, or
It comes with these little double-sided stickies,
okay?
and you can just take them off. But the back side of this is actually just 1/8 inch foam board.
Okay. Is that an Amazon find?
Yeah, it's like the water one, but those are quick and dirty backdrops. You just get, if you don't want to use the sticky things that come with it, they're like command strips, but they're a little bit better. You can get spray glue.
Mm-hmm. Spray mount.
And you can use the spray glue across the foam board to stick to it. It's a really easy backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cost effective, and you can, you know, change it however you want, manipulate it a little bit. That's
Yeah,
what I've used for any time I use a backdrop photo. That's what I get is my foam board backdrops, and I use them. Adam is saying, shout out to Kayla, who's probably doing a quick and dirty backdrop somewhere. I do a backdrop, and I might throw out my back. So then, I guess there's an age thing.
we got some yummy Japanese food that day. That was a great day. We got to see some cool toys. There's some cool little like toy shop nerdy stuff up here, out by her.
It's cool. Yeah, I don't have a whole
What's
toy
that?
guys near me. I have a few, but yeah, they don't get along.
Toy guys, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there's some YouTube toy guys that are in my area that are kind of not my style of people.
Right.
I didn't need that. I didn't need my phone. Yeah, that's how you know you're getting old and barely bend over.
No, you know you're getting old when you like move and you hear noises from
Yeah,
your
no,
body.
that's pretty much me. I have to check and make sure nothing's broken when I move.
What was that crack?
That didn't sound right.
Can you imagine like this is what folks do? Set, people working on movie sets and
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I would be all right with that. I mean, I don't mind the painting and the other stuff. It's just I'm like you. I have that voice in my head that says this isn't good enough. Constantly.
Stupid voice. Out of my head.
I try to do stuff just because I want to do it. So I'm to that point where, yeah, that rock's gonna have to get some. Not nearly as good as my first rock, which really was kind of my test rock, but it doesn't sit flat. So,
Oops.
one of the
My
reasons
like
it's still tested.
mic and my cables all gonna have cool little paint colors. But I successfully protected my clothes.
It's all that matters. You gotta protect the clothing. I may have burned every single tip of my fingers, but I'm good. It's all good. It's all good.
What can you guys
There's my
do?
cell phone mount. See, and I still got my explosion to do at some point in the future.
Which
Nice.
explosion? Yeah.
This is my
the foam,
my
right?
foam explosion.
Yeah. How are you going to? Are you painting it? So I guess it's going to be pretty opaque.
Yeah, I'm gonna hollow it out a little bit on the backside, so it'll end up being quite a bit hollow, as much as I can in the center.
And you said that was
it,
spray.
and then put in my LED in the inside of it.
Nice. And you said that's spray foam, yeah?
Yep, just
kind of randomly
insulation foam with a little hose on it. You can just spray it out.
Got hose
Put
on
it
it.
in layers, wait for it to dry, and then carve it with a box knife. You want one of the ones with the full blades, not the half blades. You want one like this.
I want those. I need those.
Not the Stanley box knife kind of thing. That's what I like to call it. Right?
You want the Kirby full knife? Sorry, bad joke.
Yeah. But when I spray this out, you're going to want to spray it out on a surface that's
not going to stick.
Yeah, I use the reflective side, which is why you see there's a nice little like You see if you look at the center of this, there's a really shiny section of this. That's where I spray foam. So I don't ruin anything else. Because if I would much rather mess up that, because if you put it on cardboard, it's just going to absorb into the cardboard. So you need a surface that's non-porous for the base.
I've heard people use wax paper.
You could. You use wax paper, parchment paper. Probably both of those would work pretty well. But yeah, no, it's spray foam is great for a multitude of reasons. Ease of cutting, you can get some pretty interesting shapes. I mean, you can even, if you really, really want to, you can probably try to get shape into a mold. I'm not sure that you would want to try that too often, and I definitely wouldn't try it with your bare hands.
Into a mold?
Yep. It expands, but it doesn't expand that much.
Oh, like shoot it into the mold and let it just
Yeah.
fill up. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. You'd need some mold release on the inside of the thing, but other than that, it should go. Weirdly specific.
This is fun, man. Thank you. It's really pushed me to do this too.
Well, you know what? You said you wanted to do something like this sometime this summer, and you know, and then
that's why you put things out in the universe.
You've been busy, and I was like, you know what? Let's see if he's ready. We'll do this in August because this is what I wanted to do for August.
Yeah, let's stop being busy.
Kind of do workshop and talk about things.
Yeah, this is really cool. So what are you thinking? How are you thinking of like incorporating this kind of content into your stream? You're gonna try and do this regularly, bring other folks on. I think you were saying Eldor maybe soon.
Yeah, Eldor is gonna be probably with me next week, and we'll see what he wants to do, and I'll probably still be working on this. But the whole point of this is to, you know, hopefully over the course of the month, and I've got random diorama coming on the 25th at this moment. We'll see what happens.
He's one of those that like has inspired me.
Oh yeah, his stuff's great. Maybe. So we'll see on his coming on, and we'll, you know, hopefully everything will work out. And but I'm also trying to get, you know, someone that does just figure customizing on, so that we could, you know, work on a custom figure together. Different customs, his custom, my custom. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just kind of talk about how they do their customs versus how I do my customs, and you know, there's a unique art to all of this, and it's, you know, but it's not, the steps aren't unique, but what we choose to do with those steps are unique. See, like what you're doing is you're doing, you know, very detailed dry brush and brushing in paint to highlight.
Yeah, I should probably be saying what I'm doing. Oh, thank you. No, yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
And you know, I'm over here building and connecting and trying to get the stuff set up, and then I can do the painting and the other stuff.
I mean, I spent a good 40 minutes mixing a weird pukey pinkish purple thing. Yeah, I'm kind of like, at first the idea with this blue is like, ooh, okay, I'll do that on the underside of these sort of edges. Pop them up.
I mean, you could always get you some mossy foam, Fluker's moss, and like get you some glue, and then stick it on there in spots and give it some vegetation. Give it some mossy edges. So I think this stuff was like a couple bucks. It was my original plan to use this as the grass, and then I saw that the AstroTurf wasn't that expensive, so I was like, why not?
You know, it's really funny about the whole like cat's lair, blah blah blah, size. Look how big I just made this thing.
Yeah, but that thing's
But
a
it's flat.
one. But it's
Yes.
what, an inch,
Yeah,
maybe
exactly. Yeah. That's
an
true.
inch thick. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not taking up 3 foot by 3 foot space.
And it like, lift
That's 9 square foot. No, thank you.
I can move it with a finger,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can put it behind the dresser and it's
Fair
out of the
enough,
way.
fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. I just thought about that for a second. It's just like, this thing is not small. And the reason I made it so big is because I do have I have that ant. I've got
Yeah,
some big
but
ass
you've
toys.
also got trolls, and
Yep.
you got all those larger scale figures that you want something that's not gonna, you know
Hmm.
you don't want to see the sheet behind there and have the all white all the time.
Yeah. The
Give it
sheet's
some
been bugging me for a
contrast and
while.
interest. You want it to be visually interesting.
Yes, you know me. Yes. Cool. This is fun. I'm liking it. I think the only other thing I need is maybe some like white or some maybe like a weird yellow, well, yellowish white highlights someday. But yeah, and there's also like with this kind of thing that I'm doing, it's like that not trying to overdo it too. I'm trying to
Yeah,
figure out
that's the trick. Is
Goldilocks spot.
sometimes I tend to do the overdo more than I do the underdo.
Underdo.
Underdo. Just right is a rare fixation. I will definitely overdo more often than I do anything else.
All of this is to get me to work up to eventually doing more custom figs. There are some things that I want to do, I want to see happen, but I am chicken right now, and I need more of a permanent setup. This I can put away pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, the thing is that if you make the diorama modular enough that you can move it
yeah.
around and get things out, that's kind of why I do the um, foam board backers, is because I can pop them out quickly if I need to.
Mhm.
Try to do them in pieces so that they're easier to move. So for me, when I'm sometimes that if I get to these, I think a lot of it is I look at it and I'm like, I don't want to say feel overwhelmed, but it's like
Sorry, I just
I get
glanced at the chat and we've missed some great stuff. You've seen it and you're just trying to ignore it?
I was trying to ignore it.
You can't. Yes, this is back to when we were talking about being old, and yes, a foam explosion could get you demonetized or a ton of followers.
And then of course Allison, just an inch or two, and you can move it with a finger. I'm not sure if that was a double entendre or not.
Thanks, Allison. That's very validating.
I'm slightly confused. Although that doesn't take much right now, because my brain is on relaxation crafting time. Then I'm just stepping on everything. See, and I got these sticks that I brought in from
Wait, you ventured to the outdoors?
Cure for a while. So those are going to go into that dio.
Wait, are those actual sticks you picked up from the outdoor world that you fear so
Yes,
much?
from my backyard.
Awesome. Well done.
I actually sliced up my tree this week because it needed to come, some places needed to come off. And these are not from that. This is from earlier in the summer, but those are my neighbor's weeping willow tree. And then I got all of these little plastic, fakey things. They're going to have to be painted before I put them on something, but these would work great from my ocean more than they would my figure diorama. But it's just if I sit there and think about how much that I want to do with this and how long it would take, I would probably never even start on any of this because I'm a procrastination king. So, but I realize that if I don't do it, then I just have something that's, it's not a dynamic display. And I want my toys to feel appreciated. You know what I mean? I don't know how to put it any other way, but
That's great. I love that.
it's weird. I want to show them off.
No, I mean, yeah. I don't think it's weird at all.
So, and I think the same old stale standing there, everybody, in order, in line, just
Yeah,
some
that's
point.
like a class photo. So
Yeah.
I noticed that for a while. I was looking at my figures the way they were, and I was like, oh man, it's like y'all are in
Yeah.
the class of 20 whatever.
It's the equivalent of basic bitch, I guess.
Whoa.
I don't know how to put it any other way. That's how I feel about that one. Just have it all. Eldor's talking about. He does it because that's why he makes the terrain pieces to display his figures there. Yeah, exactly. I like doing the creative stuff. I like doing this. It just gives me hives after I start it and I can't finish it all at once.
Eldor, I apologize for the my human ignorance here, but can you please tell me, sir, am I somewhat approximating an Eternian landscape and Eternian materials that would exist, or is this just a really bad human? Uh,
Quip asking me if I'm the king of wishful thinking or you're the king of wishful thinking? Because I'm confused.
'Cause I'll get over you. I know you will. Is that what you're thinking? Did I did I
I don't
did I,
know.
did I hum
I
that
don't
or
know what
something?
Quip's thinking. He was asking a question. Maybe it was just a response to something from a minute ago. Well, since I'm putting up, so I can actually pay attention to the chat now.
The king of wishful think. Who is that? That's from the Pretty Woman soundtrack. That's oh, dude. Did I say something in reference to that? Anyways, did I accidentally hum it? That's been known to happen.
Eldor says, "Oops, hang on. Yeah. Oh no, it looks about right there.
Great, cool. I was going for Eternia, or possibly Eternia, some form of it, maybe Etheria.
Oh, okay. He's referencing my statement about being the king of procrastination. So it's the king of wishful thinking. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I just have this really bad thing. If I put it off, I'm going to put it off. But then one day I'll just literally just get tired of putting it off, and I will do 20 things that I haven't done by putting them off. So it's like this. It has to get to a certain level of procrastination. There has to be enough undone things that something has to get done. And then once one thing gets done, the snowball effect happens.
So that was not a Pretty Woman soundtrack. Okay.
I don't think that was pretty. I don't know what it was, but I know the song he's talking about.
Sorry, it's a great soundtrack. Roxette.
So no, I love doing the art stuff. I enjoy doing it because it helps me take my mind somewhere else for a little while. But I can make myself get overwhelmed because I try to do too much at once. So I've kind of gotten to the point where I do a little bit at a time now, so I don't have to feel like it has to get done all at once. So I'm trying to be, I guess the word is patient with myself. Because I know that's not a productive use of my time if I'm Okay. Interesting.
Hmm?
I guess you were live streaming to Facebook.
Oh yeah, I probably just defaulted and put them both on Y.
Oh no, I'd never seen those before because I don't
Oh,
do
what
the
did you get? One of
Facebook.
those Facebook user or something?
Well, no, yeah, well, it was that plus there was likes, and I was like, okay,
Oh,
I was slightly confused for a
well,
moment.
since I jumped on late, it was an especially weird stream because it like jumped in the middle.
He didn't jump in the middle. He jumped in 2 seconds. Weren't that late?
Oh, wasn't that late? Okay. Yeah. Well, either way.
Wasn't that late? It was like a minute, maybe two. Ass edging, yeah, I guess we could call it that, for lack of a better word. For want of a better word, we'll call it task edging.
Task edging.
That random feeling when you wake up and decide, hey, today's the day that everything's going to get done. Mainly that's me and the yard work. But, it gets done every week.
Eek. Too much, too much, too much, too much, too much. Again, too much. Eesh.
I think you're doing fine. I don't think you're going overboard on it at all.
No, it's just this too much paint.
Yeah, technically we have 12 people watching paint dry.
I was thinking about that, but again, that was part of my inner voice, and I didn't want to say nothing. But yeah.
Well, if it's accurate. It is what it is. But you know what? We had 20 earlier, so I guess they got tired of us. I don't know. Everybody went to bed. We put them all to sleep with our calm voices. And, I was listening to myself when I was on Monday and I was doing the unboxings.
Mm-hmm.
And this first time that I've actually sat down to listen to my own voice, and I was like, I sound like a screeching cat.
I tried, yeah.
I was like, oh, this is bad. This is bad.
Oh no,
No.
you do not. But yes, no, you do not. But that is
I know that we're kind of pre-programmed to hate the sound of our own voice, but man, I was just not prepared for that.
and not well, yeah. Because I've actually been told that it's part of the way your skull is shaped, right, and how it resonates. So the voice that you're used to hearing is very different from the one that is heard by the world and is on recording. Yeah, so you're like, who the hell is that? That used to be a huge thing for me, but I've gotten
ouch. Nice shot, Allison.
I'm also watching my alcohol markers dry on the page.
Oh. I agree, Cliff. It's a weird phenomena. I had never really gone back and watched any of my lives, any time that I've been on live. And it was weird.
See, with your lead in, I thought you were going to say that you found it soothing and it helped you fall asleep.
No, negative.
But it was the opposite.
Disturbed me on a number of levels. No, it's weird because I mean at one point I did, I would read notes and stuff that I was doing in college, and that's how I would, because I'm an auditory learner, so I would read my notes that I took and I would read them into a recorder and I would listen to the recordings along with the lectures, and that's how I learned. So it changed kind of how that dynamic works. So when I'm listening to my voice, I wasn't prepared for what I was hearing, I guess. Would be the best way to describe it.
But have you heard what I mentioned? Like, is that a thing you've also heard? That, like, the way that physically our ears are
Yeah,
connected
it's
to,
it's
yeah.
how your head shaped. It's how you're,
Right.
but
Okay.
you're always going to
That
hear
is a
something
thing.
differently anyway because of the way
Yep.
that your internal voice is different than your external voice. Because even when you're thinking you're talking to yourself, your vocal cords are still moving.
Mhm.
So,
In my head, I sound like Mickey Mouse. Ho, ho.
oh, oh,
Okay, I think I'm good with Bluetooth. Come on. Get over it.
that
I'll
looks
get
good.
over you. Hey, thanks. I know what I want. I want to do something different. I'll be right back. I don't want to lose these brushes. Let me go get them wet, and I'll be right.
Yeah, you might want to wash them because I am living with non-washed brushes. So, let's see. Oh, I don't envy you right now, Quip, because that's like a chore in and of itself. That is like the worst chore you could possibly do. Because as soon as you touch that one in the back, everybody's coming down. Everybody. And then you sweat because you want to make sure that it doesn't break something on the way down. Yes, Matthew, you're making props. You got your fantastic. You guys aren't following Matt on Instagram. It's Mamu's Action Blog. I put it down. I don't remember what it is, Matthew. It's something off of it. Makes I can't ever remember what it is. But I go start losing my mind here. Mamu's Action Figure Blog, something along those lines. Come on. Where is it at? Hang on. I'll find it. There it is. Yeah. Mamu's Action Figure Blog. Instagram. Find him. Does good photos. Losing my mind. Well, then what's the point, Quip? If there's no toy dominoes, I mean, come on. It's okay. You just got to pick them up. You just got to pick them up. You got to start from the back and then hope that your hand doesn't randomly smack something in the back when you put the new figures in, right? It's always a guessing game. It's like on thin ice. Let's see.
Neutral gray.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true, Quip. It is easier if it's mostly mint and box. Your poor plastic prisons. Your prisons of plastic.
All right, let's try this. This is awesome. I've had this paint for going on what? Oh, 2005.
It's not
so
that bad.
But I don't believe I've ever used it. No, I might have used it for one thing, for a tiny piece on a painting. Yep. Let's go.
Oh, dear God.
Yes. Dear God, sorry to disturb you, but
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
that was they did a version of that, I think, recently.
Uh-huh.
Gloopy Silver Poopy.
Ew. Yeah, that's gonna take some work.
Mm.
I think you've gotten a little loopy now, Rick. You're fascinated with the silver poopy.
You should have seen my day. Today I was in a training, yesterday and today, and they were talking about lexical diversity or density, sorry. And we're talking just all this linguistic grammar, teaching grammar stuff. Anyways, there was a point where I made a stupid Yoda reference about subject, object, subject, predicate, object, or whatever. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
and the world has changed, man, because there were way too many. There's just a ton of nerds out there in the world now. Normally, that was the kind of thing that no one even like bat an eye, and it's kind of neat. There are nerds everywhere.
We spend all of our time trying to multiply, so you know. That's how that works.
Oops, that's a
Yeah,
mic.
broke my chair.
Okay. Yeah, this silver is awesome sauce. Cool. Fun.
So you're giving it a silver arm on each side.
Yeah, I kind of envisioned these to
Give it a door, like a doorway.
Pillars of some sort. To maybe this is to an homage to the failed Jurassic Park gates.
Yeah, that whole, I don't understand that one. That's like the second one in a row that they've made kind of.
HasLab, you mean? I mean, sorry, Mattel Creations?
Yeah, it's just, it's weird.
Yeah, but not like the second Jurassic Park attempt, because
no, but it's the second one that they've done in a row that has failed.
Yeah. Was it the wrestling one?
Yeah.
Yeah. As I've said, like I was saying on Mega J's thingy, like just I feel like they're figuring it out, right? They're understanding this new tool that they have in crowdfunding and making tons of mistakes in the process. Oops. Hold on a second. If I let go of this, it will fall. Are you a big wrestling person?
No. Wow.
No, right? You said no.
There was a time in the late 90s that I liked wrestling. That was more of, there's a reason why I have a goatee and I'm bald. You can figure that one out.
I can't totally. I don't know enough.
Mainly it was because I was, didn't like the people that I worked with at the police department. So had plenty of issues with authority being that person.
Yeah, getting into the toy thing and meeting these collectors is fascinating to me.
What are you doing? You're like making noise and then
my bad. Hold on. Mute.
I don't know where you went. Where'd you go? Okay.
Okay, sorry. My mic arm got disconnected from the table.
Oh, okay. I was like,
so in an attempt to fix it and screw it, it was sounding like a torture device. Oh, wrestling.
Apparently Matthew is 4 away from 1,500 followers.
Nice.
Yeah. I could agree with you. Hanging 316 says, let's unpack that. Figuratively and literally, yeah, that's an accurate assessment.
Oh, that's
we have packed a lot here.
What is that guy's name? Anyway.
For a non-therapy session, it is a therapy session. You know what I mean? Sometimes more for me than people coming on.
Anyway, just saying, like, I've learned more. Not learned about wrestling, because I did have my moment, I guess, with it, but I have come to realize how powerful a force it is in pop culture.
It definitely has changed from when I was a kid. I mean, you can see the less crossover kind of thing. There's really only a couple big people, and then it was kind of, the rest of it was kind of there. But it started in the '80s and came through its own in the '90s, and I get why people like it. I mean, it's the male equivalent of a soap opera.
No, well, I guess if we're being super binary, sure. And then Robotech is somewhere in the middle, maybe? That was my soap opera.
Yeah, no. Okay. But I'm just saying in general, it's
Yeah. No, I didn't realize how powerful, like, meaning, like, I didn't realize so many people are so into it. And, I always kind of wondered about the toy stuff and didn't realize, yeah, man, folks are hardcore. Sorry, what did we get on this? Oh, because of that Mattel Creations thing.
yeah.
And so I don't have enough of a frame of reference to know whether or not something like that would be successful. And I was
I think that
lightly surprised that it was not.
I think it's a niche of a niche, and that's why it kind of floundered. But even the Jurassic Park thing, I'm not sure that was. I mean, it's basically a big dio piece. That doesn't scream to me that people really wanted a big dio piece, especially not for that price.
Mhm.
I think
And
it's the same kind of thing that befell Star Wars, where they just made bad choices of what to put out.
yeah, I also wonder if people didn't sort of like, if the audience that is into Jurassic Park didn't get enough, weren't reached out to enough. Because I don't
Yeah,
necessarily know if they're the same audience that, you know, that Motu is, that's constantly looking at the same kind of source of
yeah, it's not.
information.
And maybe there's some people in there that are probably crossovers to that, but I don't think that market is. Because honestly, when I go into the stores, I mean, the dinos are still there, so they don't seem to move. So I can't imagine without anything like
Well,
relevant.
they're not gonna move while you're watching.
No shit. I'm just saying in
No,
general,
no, no.
you don't see
Just
a whole lot of turnover on those in that
yeah,
area.
yes, 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 yes.
Those aisles pretty much stayed full even during, everything else might be gone in the aisle, but the dinos and the transformers, they're going to be there. But I know transformers though, so I don't know. I just think the market's not there for that.
Mm.
But I think it's because it wasn't really a playset. I mean, it really wasn't that.
Do you have any
Now
wrestling
the
figures?
wrestling thing was, but the Jurassic Park wasn't.
Sure. Sorry to go jump around. Do you have, a lot of wrestling figures or any wrestling figures?
No.
I actually do, and it's
The
because
only the only wrestling things I have are those motorcycles that I made into dreadnought bikes.
what are those? What wrestling thing is that from?
They're like smash and slam cycles. They're
Mhm.
choppers.
Got it.
I made the custom Zartan bike and the custom buzzer bike.
Have you checked them out for purposes of customizing?
The figures, yeah, I don't like they're 7-inch, so they don't really work with
Oh, sure. Because most of your
anything that I have.
customs sorry,
So it,
mhm. Most of your customs are kind of more on the Joe end anyways, right?
so far, I mean, I'm going to be doing a custom with the Mythic. I
So
got
no
from
Motu stuff.
I've done, well, I did the Panther, the Masterverse Panther.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So
So
I
I
was
mean,
thinking
yeah, I'll do it. I bought a couple of those Revelations He-Mans to make something else with them, and then I used them for Vicron. So all those two that I had, but I still have another Panther. I have another Battle Cat in the garage that I haven't done anything with. And then I've got an Origins Battle Cat that I haven't done anything with. So I've got a few things that need to be messed with, but I've also got a pile of about 20 Joes that I got for customs.
Well, I got a
Then
bunch
I've
of
got a
really
couple.
cheap AEW figures, and I just like the sculpts, and I like they're all women except for I think two, and there's just figures that we wouldn't normally get, different shapes
Yeah,
too and sizes,
yeah.
which are cool. And so at some point, I have them as fodder for something. I mean, they were like really, really cheap. So
Well, I mean, you can put armor on them, and
exactly, yeah.
they'll
Or
match into your Masterverse stuff. So
yeah.
just for me, it wasn't one of those things where I needed. There's not really any of them that speak to me anymore. So, and I,
Do you
I
know?
don't exactly need a Stone Cold Steve Austin figure hanging out in my house.
Do you know Jade Cargill? Is that her name? Jade something? Is that
No,
okay? Just wondering
can't say that I do.
because I picked up her figure, loved it, fell in love with it, and that's what led me down that rabbit hole.
I'm sure Ken will talk your ear off on wrestling, but
Well, yeah.
modern wrestling, you can, I think the last thing that I watched was probably in 99 or 98, honestly. I just haven't.
So I have a spot here that I can tell the paint is not adhering to. Either it's oils or something.
Just
Any
let that.
yeah,
You could put some Mod Podge on that and then try again
try
after it
again.
dries.
Okay. So maybe it's
That's
oils
what I
or
would
something.
do.
Yeah. But the silver doesn't really translate very well. Or you can kind of see, I guess it's shiny, but it looks really nice.
Yeah.
Pretty. Shiny.
But yeah, no, if it's not adhering well, it just means there's something there. So just throw some Mod Podge on it and then repaint that area. Yeah, that's awfully thick. You gonna thin that out a little bit with some water?
Thin it out? No. Well, I don't know how it's gonna affect the pearlescent sort of metallic thing. So I kind of didn't want to mess with it. But it's nice. It's just opaque on that bad boy and sits there. It covers up super fast, except for that one spot. So yeah, I mean, this thing looks like I think it hits that weird cartoony 80s
Mm-hmm.
sci-fi weirdo thing.
Kind of looks like a broken comic book panel. Now that you put the silver on the one side and silver on the other side, you'll have it look like something shattered in the middle of the panel.
Yeah. All out of
Like or a
piece of
breaking mirror or
we'll see. Yeah, I feel like the brown would have made it read a little bit quicker as like a thing, but I think it works.
no, I think you're fine with the silver.
Are you all done over there? Is that I just realized I'm on full screen.
Yeah, you've been on full screen for a while. I haven't done for tonight. It's after midnight, so I am starting to
Yeah.
fade on you.
Yeah, let's wrap it up then. No need to hang out.
That would
Oh yeah,
be
Quip is aware of who Jade Cargill is.
yeah, he is. He's asking the zones odds banish two, and then that the negative
The
zone.
negative zone.
My brain is.
in
Excuse me,
Superman.
sir. Your brain has checked out for the evening.
Yeah, let's close it out, man. But thank you. This is rad, and it definitely
Oh, I'm
pushed
glad you
me
had
to
fun. I
do
appreciate
something.
everybody hanging with us. There's 11 people that managed to make it through.
Yeah, thank you all. It's
Bless them all
amazing.
for putting up with us. I mean, yeah, they're getting, they get medals for that. Well,
We,
and before we go, we got to do our obligatory. Where's my question? Where is it at? Where? Nope, nope,
the who's it with?
no. Where'd to go? My brain is gone. There we go. What'd you find joy in today, Brick?
This is what I found an immense amount of joy in today. This was awesome, man. Hanging out, talking, getting a chance to talk about like a YouTube interview I saw while painting something, creating something from rando materials. Awesome stuff. And finally using paint that I've carried around and moved to many different homes since 1992. Good stuff.
You know what? Sometimes going through and using just the simple stuff. Well, I had a lot of fun hanging out, doing at least my tree and a couple other things. Got some progress made on stuff and got
Mhm.
my magnets set in right. So that's a bonus for the day. And everybody, if you can be anything, be nice. We will see you next week. Be me and Eldor. This is going to be a whole learning session for me next week. I'm just telling you right now. And this Sunday, you're on with Adam, right?
Yes, Sunday, highly
For
articulated at
4
2 o'clock.
Central, so 2 p.m. Pacific.
Yo. Live
There,
AWOC talk
AWOC
with
talk.
with the man behind support at Spiro Toys.
Yes. Email him at support@spirotoys.com.
Email him, send him your love and appreciation, folks. That's what you
There
need to
you
do.
go. All right, everybody. Have a good evening.